Defiance County was bathed over the last 24 hours in rain and then more rain. But as we get set for first pitch here this afternoon, despite it being a little bit damp, extremely windy, and temperatures feeling more like March rather than June, it's at least dry enough to play some ball. It is the second season as the Defiance Bulldogs at 21-1 overall, the WBL champions at 8-0, welcome the Columbian Tiffin Tornadoes 9-13, 4-6 respectively. It is the opening round of the district playoffs. The winner will advance to next week. The loser packs up their gear until next season. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is on the air. Brent Balbina being joined by Scoop Miller, always punctual as we expect. Scoop, again, we're going to hear from both head coaches here, Coach Weber and Coach Weaver. But when you reach a one-game season like this, it becomes a little bit more of, I don't want to call it a mystery, but baseball is different than almost every other sport because your starting lineup always changes with one key position, and that's your pitcher. And, of course, as you would expect, both teams going to throw their absolute best today, so don't necessarily take a look at the Tornadoes' 9-13 record and think this is going to be a give-me for the Bulldogs because the Tornadoes are throwing their standout, their star. He's going to be moving on to play ball next season I'm looking down here. I believe it was... I'll find it for you. But he's a college pitcher as well. His name is Isaiah Tills, and the Bulldogs need to be ready because they're going to see a guy who's got command of 4 pitches.
Well, he does. Isaiah Tills is one of the premier pitchers in Northwest Ohio. He comes in with an impressive plus 3-1 strikeout walk ratio, and Brent, opponents hitting just 133 off Tills this season. So you know hits are going to be at a premium, runs will even be more of a premium. And the last time these two teams met out on the diamond was a 1-0 Tornado win 3 seasons ago. So they know each other as they matched up in the tournament several times over the last 10 years.
Checking my notes, and I apologize to Isaiah Tills. It's Bryant and Stratton is where he's going to be playing his college ball. He's going to be facing off against Defiance's ace, Brez Ziffel. And again, we'll break down his numbers. He'll be playing college ball across town at Defiance College, but you've got both teams' aces. We'll wait and see. How many times have we said it so far this season? Looks like it's going to be a pitcher's duel on paper, only to see it turn into be more of an offensive slugfest. But if it plays out the way we expect, offense is going to be a premium today.
Yeah, I look for both teams to try to manufacture runs early. A lot of times in early innings you play for the big inning, but I think the fact that these teams have so much respect for each other, you mentioned both aces will be on the bump here this afternoon. So I think anytime you get an opportunity, look for a little small ball, look for some aggressive base running. Any way you can scratch out a run, I think it's going to be huge here this afternoon.
Had a chance to sit down and talk with both head coaches. Again, we'll talk with Coach Weber to start off our coaches segment of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame. We'll also hear from Defiance coach Rick Weaver about what it will take. This team, a dominated senior class, 13 of them made the walk around the base paths in their final regular season home game on Monday against Fairview. They have been built to do what they've done so far. Now, can they continue it? We'll find out. We'll take a quick time out. We're back with more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
All right, here it comes on a count. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. The rain had held off, at least as of the time we're doing this pregame interview. It's spitting just a little bit. The beauty of the facility here, though, at Defiance, they've got turf, they've got lights, they can play in just about anything, and trust me, we've seen it. Coach Weber joining us right now. It is time. Second season. Basically, you're playing for the right to put the uniform on and continue your season. The loser puts the gear away until next year. Brent Balvin saying thank you for joining us. Coach, appreciate you joining us here. The drive over was uneventful, you told me. What's the mindset of this team right now?
We're ready to go. We're excited. We're a young team that has an opportunity in front of us, and we know we have an opportunity in front of us. So we're really excited. We're led by a good pitcher that we've relied on many times now. So we're excited and see what the opportunity brings us.
Look, it's not like the college ranks where you can go out and recruit them, or the pros where you can trade for them. You coach what you got, and you graduated quite a bit of talent from last year. Was this a growing experience? Were you going through some growing pains between the beginning of the year till now?
Yeah, we graduated 8 last year, and 8 guys that played a lot of baseball for us. So we had a lot of young guys in key positions, and at the early on, it was growing pains, but they have settled in. The last couple of weeks, we're playing really good baseball, and those guys are learning how to be a varsity baseball player and learn how to carry themselves in and out. So we're excited. We know that we got them for a couple more years now, so we'll just keep building.
Going with your ace today, Isaiah Tills. He's actually going to be playing college ball at the end of this season. Break him down. What's in his repertoire?
He's going to have 4 pitches for us today. He's got the fastball, slider, curveball, and a changeup. If everything works, he's pretty effective. Like I said, we love our chances when he's on the mound. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to come after hitters. He's not going to shy away from hitters and pitch around hitters. So we trust him to go after it, and he's going to go as long as he can go.
With that wind blowing out today, no such thing as a routine fly ball. What's your message to your guys about staying locked in, and especially as an outfielder, making sure you get a good read?
Yeah, we talked on the way over here that outfielders don't give up on any ball coming away, right? You might think that it might be the right fielder or the ball to the center fielder. Keep the right fielder, left fielder engaged, because you don't know where that wind's going to be carrying. And also with the infield, don't give up on a ball because you don't know where that wind's going to be taking that
You got to
ball.
communicate.
So, yep, 100%.
Take us through your approach at the plate. Breslin Ziffel, number 1. He's going to be playing college ball just across town at Defiance. He's got, again, 3 to 4 pitches depending on what's on. But do you have a baseline approach that you want to take when you step in the box today?
We want to be aggressive. We want to jump on our pitch. We don't want to let him settle in and get deep into the counts where we're chasing some balls that we know that are not good counts for us to hit in. So we want to be aggressive early, get ahead early, and try to stay ahead and keep putting pressure on those guys on the bases. So
there's no sense in overanalyzing it, right? Do you treat this as just another game? Can you treat this as just another game?
It is, and I joked with our guys last night, and I said we want to pull out the old hickory, and I said I'll pull out a tape measure and measure the plate to the mound and shed 60 feet 6 inches. So we're excited. Like I said, it's just us. It's a baseball game. It's against a really obviously a great program here and great facilities, and we're blessed that our kids get to see it and get to play here and experience this. But once the first pitch goes, it's just a baseball game. So
he's channeling his inner Coach Norman Dale. Coach Weber, thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck to you today.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
We're going to take a quick time out. Back with the hosts and Coach Weaver right after this. You're watching the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show on DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Two, one. Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues here on DCTV Sports. Pregame is underway. The postseason is underway as Defiance welcoming Columbia Tiffin. Our thanks going out to our pregame sponsor, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance. Check out their great selection of new and used vehicles. Everybody's on a budget nowadays. They have something within your budget. If you can't get on the lot to see them in person, you can always check them out online at drivebobestel.com. Coach Weaver joining us right now. Coach, we've talked about this before. Matter of fact, we talked about it from Monday when you played last against Fairview, and your team got punched in the jaw. Fairview, a 20-win team, came out, and then all of a sudden you explode for 6 runs in the bottom of the 5th on your way to a 5-run win. Let me ask you this. How much did that game help in preparation for today?
Yeah, I think all those types of games help. When you can come back and win, when you're tested, I think that helps the growing process. That helps with the tournament run. When you get into the tournament, all of that, you don't want to come out and beat everyone easily. You've got to be tested, and hopefully we learned a lot from that.
Look, this is a senior-dominated team. 13 walked during senior day earlier this week. They've been built to do what they've done so far. Now that it's a one-game season, you're playing for the right to put the uniform on one more time. The loser will pack it away until next year. You don't treat this any differently, even though the guys know what's on the line. Is there a maturity to this group that allows them to take it just one game at a time?
Yeah, I think having 13 seniors makes a big difference. But that's kind of been our motto for 26 years here. Is it's just another game. We treat it like another game. It's no more bigger than Monday, even though it's tournament. It's just always been our approach. Try to stay even keel. Baseball's not a high emotion sport, so I think when you try to overemphasize the importance of games, you get 2 up. Kids tend to try to do too much. They get jacked on the mound, start swinging at bad pitches. So it's just kind of always been our way to attack things. It's just another baseball game.
Look, you and I have talked about that before, but break it down a little bit for us. I mean, baseball is different than almost any other sport. Football, for example, you can get amped up. You can go ahead and pancake a guy, get more aggressive, catch your breath, and then come back after another snap and do it again. Likewise with basketball, you can kick it into another gear and force everybody to catch up. Baseball's not that way. One of my old coaches used to call it relaxed focus.
Absolutely.
That sounds like a contradiction in terms. How do you teach that to a young man?
Yeah, I mean, we preach the mental side, taking deep breaths, all of that. And, you know, like you hit it on the head when you talk about baseball is different. And we say this all the time where if a team is heavily favored in football or basketball, they usually win in a blowout. Very rarely will you see, you know, a 12-0 team in football facing a 1-11 team and there's an upset. It just doesn't happen. Baseball is a lot different. Anyone can beat anyone on any given day. You see it every year. You see so-called upsets. But we could hit 10 rockets right at them and have 10 outs. So
Sure.
It's just a different ball game than the other sports.
Let's go ahead and talk about Brez Zipfel, one of those seniors on the bump. He's been your ace, although you've got an embarrassment of riches when it comes to the depth of the pitching staff here. This is going to be the first game we've called this season where he's been the starting pitcher. Break him down for us.
Yeah, so he's a 3-pitch guy. His fastball, he's ticked it up a little bit. I'd say he's now living more 84, 86.
Okay.
He's touched 88 a few times, where last year I want to say he was more 81, 83. His changeup's still his best pitch, and now he's developed his curveball, a lot more consistent with his curveball.
And again, relaxed focus, right?
Yeah, he's the ultimate relaxer. He really is.
Brez, I gave the coach a golden opportunity. I mean, center cut fastball to pump you up. There you go. You're welcome. Let's go ahead and break down the opposition.
Yeah.
Tills, he's going to be playing small college ball, continuing his career. Coach Weber says he's a true 4-pitch mix guy. He'll be in the lower to mid-80s fastball, but again, a true slider, a 12-6, basically a hammer for a curve. Won't mix and change much, but do you have a scout on this guy, or what's your baseline approach?
No, that's the exact what we've seen. Watched some video on him. He's a competitor, and that's really, this is the ultimate I'm talking about, where a team that's below 500, but you have a kid like him on the mound, he can beat anybody. I've watched the video, I've talked to other coaches. He can beat anyone in the state of Ohio, so we obviously have our work cut out for us tonight.
All right, I mean, they've got the home field advantage, nothing left to do but stay relaxed and focused. Best of luck to you, Coach.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Coach Weaver joining us on the Yesel Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. We're going to take a quick timeout, back with the starting lineups right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
Arthur Law Firm, we understand how overwhelming life can be after being seriously injured in a car accident. With over 50 years of experience, Arthur Law Firm has a track record of getting the results you deserve. When you don't know where to turn, get answers with Arthur. Call us today.
Now there you take a look at some somewhat ominous-looking clouds, although there is no more rain expected throughout the rest of the evening. It just looks like, what do they say, bark worse than their bite, so to speak. But trust me, plenty of rain and then some over the last 48 to 72 hours throughout the entire northwestern portion of the state, but especially here in Defiance. But again, when you've got lights, you've got turf, they can handle what a lot of other high school facilities cannot, and we expect to get this one in. As there you take a look at the visitors. Again, Columbian Tippin. They enter today's contest at 9-13 overall. They play out of the Sandusky Bay Lake Conference, where they are 4-6. Last season, they were a game above 500 at 13-12 and finished 8-2. As you heard Coach Weber mention, they took a huge hit to graduation. A lot of underclassmen, a lot of role players being asked to step into leadership positions this year, and they have responded well. You take a look at it, Scoop. Again, how often can we use the cliche? It's not how you start, it's how you finish, and they are coming in after a 5-1 winner over Madison Comprehensive in the opening round of the district, so they've got a little bit of wind in their sails.
They're playing some good baseball right now. You mentioned that win against Comprehensive in the sectional semifinal, but they've also been winners of 3 of their 4 last games. But again, it all comes down to that guy on the bump, and they certainly have a good one in Tills. And I think Ron certainly will be a premium, and look for Coach Weaver to try to motivate his guys. And again, there's going to come down to execution. The little things in baseball end up being big, and that'll be the story here this afternoon.
There you take a look at the home team, the Defiance Bulldogs, 21-1 overall, 8-0, another season, another Western Buckeye League championship. Their only setback this season was just about a weekend ago as they lost to Fort Wayne Snyder. That was one of the PBR circuit matchups as they fell 8-5 back on Saturday the 17th. They're coming off a big win on Monday against a really good Fairview squad that entered the contest with 20 wins. Matter of fact, they were down 3-1 going into the bottom of the 5th before their bats finally exploded en route to a 9-4 victory. But again, all of that right now in the rearview mirror. It is about survive and advance. Let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, Baker-Schindler.com. There you take a look at the visitors, the Tornadoes. Let's take a look at their lineup. And they've got some pretty heavy lumber that they'll be sending to the plate, and not the least of which is one of their baby sharks, freshman Jackson Little. This young man is just a freshman, but he's hitting .370 on the season in 54 at-bats. He's got 20 hits. He's got 7 RBI, a couple doubles, couple triples. Can you imagine how good this young man is going to be over the next 3 seasons? He's hitting leadoff as a freshman.
Yeah, just incredible to be in that kind of high-profile spot there, leading off. He's been a great table setter. He's put up some good numbers this season. As you mentioned, .370 on base, or I'm sorry, batting average, over .500 on base percentage. He leads the teams in runs. He leads the team in doubles. He also leads the team in stolen bases. He's second hits, second in extra base hits. So he's been a tough out, and certainly the guy they went leading this offense, just a freshman, as you mentioned.
Batting second, it will be Jace Arias. Hitting third, it will be the pitcher Isaiah Tills. Again, he is going to be moving on at the end of whenever this season comes to an end. He'll be playing his college ball at Bryant and Stratton. Again, he's hitting .379 on the season in 66 at-bats. He's got himself 10 runs, 25 hits, and 13 RBI. Batting in the 4-hole cleanup, it will be Bradley Wellman. Hitting fifth, Blake Galden. Batting sixth, it will be Connor Reese, the first baseman. Ethan Wilcox hits seventh. Jamison Wesner will be your catcher, hitting eighth. And Braden Egert batting in the 9-hole. Defensively for the Bulldogs. And again, a little bit of a change up from what we're used to seeing with Brez Zipfel on the mound. Again, that is incorrect. Cohen Stockman will be in right field. Bring that down, guys. I'm not sure how that got mixed up, but let's go ahead and tell you who is on the bump. Brez Zipfel, the senior. And let's take a look at his numbers on the season. He is clearly the ace. Taking a look at what he's got going so far this season in 47 innings pitched. He's allowed 35 hits, 16 runs, only 10 earned. He's walked 10 while striking out 73 with an ERA of sub-2. Matter of fact, sub-1.5 at 1.49. This is a guy that's got a command of 4 strong pitches.
Well, he's just had a stellar senior season out there in the bump. This will be his 9th start. He's 8-0. You mentioned that sparkling ERA, but he also holds opponents below the Mendoza line. His opponents hitting just 192 off Zippel. And then you look at the whip, that's walks and hits per innings pitch, sub-1 at 0.96. So he's been lights out in the bump. They're going to need that type of effort tonight against a Tiffin Columbian team that one of those few teams I don't think that will be intimidated by Defiance. This is the 23rd meeting between the Tornadoes and Bulldogs. Even though the Bulldogs lead the series at 16-6, we mentioned that last one 3 years ago belonged to the Tornadoes. That was a regional win, so they have to feel confident coming in here this afternoon.
The defense, Cody Shaw, the senior, helping comprise the other half of the battery. He's behind the plate. From left to right on the infield, we're going to see a young man that we haven't seen, but he normally plays third when Breslin Zippel is on the bump. Drew Allegretti will be manning the hot corner. Senior Logan Hutchison moves from third to shortstop. Noah Gomez, your second baseman. Khalil Ligon at first. From left to right in the green, it goes Abel Rubio, Brady Bortman, and Cohen Stockman. Again, a trio of seniors. Those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company, proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, baker-schindler.com. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have the keys to the game. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need
to make your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
One in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Visit Mark Motes Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Motes Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmotesford.com.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Back at Defiance. Oh, there you see a living legend, ladies and gentlemen. Former football coach, current athletic director, and just all around good egg, Coach Jerry Beauty. I asked him jokingly once, I said, how long you been married, Coach? And he started thinking, how many decades? And I said, no, not to your wife, to the school. He goes, even longer than my wife. He is just a fixture in this community, and when the day comes, Scoop, that he decides he's going to retire, I don't know how they're going to replace him.
You know, they're going to hire multiple people to fill all the roles, all the hats that man's put on, and wow, what a career here at Defiance, as you mentioned. It really has lived up here at the school. Got a very supportive wife behind him. And, of course, no one will ever forget that state championship football team back in the 90s. led by Coach Jerry Beauty.
The non-starters as well as the starters being introduced for both teams. You just see them lining up along their respective baselines. Defiance in the gray uniforms with the blue lettering and numerals with the white trim. Columbian Tiffin in the traveling navy blue uniforms with the white pinstripes, the gold lettering and numerals. As the Bulldogs take the field, we are getting set for the playing of our national anthem. Breslin Ziffel warming up. Quickly, Scoop, do you have some keys to the game for us?
Yeah, for the Tornadoes, I think this will be important. They're going to have to play clean. You cannot afford to give Defiance extra routes. I think they come in maybe a slight underdog. They're going to have to really do a good job with their defense. I think another key for the Tornadoes, they have to win that freebie war. They have to minimize freebies. You cannot give free base to Defiance. They're just too good of a team, being the number one seed in this tournament. And I think on the flip side for the Bulldogs, I think it's going to come down to some timely hitting. You know, they're going to need to get that big two-out hit, maybe that big hit with the guy on third base, second base, and so forth. They're going to have some timely hits. I think the other thing is they're going to have to really execute, I think, and find ways to manufacture runs, because it will be tough to score against Tilshire this afternoon. So maybe execute the small ball, some hit and runs, some stolen bases. They'll be aggressive here. They'll try to put as much pressure in this Tornado defense as they can. If they can execute in these areas, they can claim a sectional championship here this afternoon, something they've done previously 35 times in the illustrious history.
Breslin Ziffel finishing his warm-ups. There you see in the on-deck circle the leadoff hitter, Jackson Little, the freshman. It is going to be an interesting afternoon as the wind blowing across the diamond from left to right. And it's anywhere from 15 to 25 miles an hour, but I'd say it's toward the top half of that range right now. Temperature's about 57, 58 degrees, but with the wind, it's going to feel a little bit more like 50. This feels more like the end of March than it does the end of May, but situation here where 6 weeks ago, Scoop, everybody would have taken this weather compared to what we're used to. So time to play ball. And the first pitch brought to you by the Arthur Law Firm. Passionate, professional, personal. Learn more at arthurlawfirm.com. As the senior Breslin Ziffel deals the very first pitch, Jackson Little checks in from the left side. And as we talked about, hitting .370 on the season. As this one misses in the cellar, your men in blue have drawn the following assignments today. Behind the plate, Jeff Ballman has balls and strikes. He's got the gear on. Mark Kuhn is your umpire in the field as Ziffel misses inside, 2 balls and a strike.
And in case you wondered, Defiance 10-1 here at home this season. The Tornadoes 8-3 on the road, so they've had a lot of success.
Swing and a miss. Bottom fell out of that pitch. Good sinker. And it evens the count up at 2-2. Ziffel, long look in. Deals. And got him looking on the outside corner, a backwards K. Premier Bank strikeout to open up the ball game.
Great pitch that time by Brez Ziffel, painting that outside corner with the fastball. It was kind of tailing away from the lefty Jackson Little. A big first out there for Ziffel in this first inning.
So here's Jace Arias digging in. His first pitch swinging, lazy liner right at the shortstop Logan Hutchinson. He took one step to his right and hauls it in, and just like that, there's 2 away. So here's the pitcher, Isaiah Tills. He leads the team in batting average with a .379 average. 25 hits, 13 RBI on the season. He just puts the ball in play. Doesn't give you any easy outs as he takes in the cellar for ball 1.
This is exactly where you want to see the senior Isaiah Tills. 2 outs, no one on base. So Ziffel can attack, try to hit his spots.
As this one shot back to the pitcher and flipped over to first base. Fielding his position. It's a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through 1/2 inning. Tornadoes nothing. Bulldogs coming to the plate. You're watching DCTV Sports.
proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Take a look at the faithful making the trip out to watch this afternoon's sectional opener. And yeah, you're going to need a jacket or maybe a light blanket with you today. Temperature's not going to bust 60 degrees, and with about a 15 to 20 mile an hour breeze, it's making things just a little chilly. But all in all, time for some baseball as we head to the bottom of the first. Isaiah Tills, there you take a look at number 8. Big senior. He is the ace for the Tornadoes, as he will deal to the following order for the Defiance Bulldogs.
And for Tills, this will be his 10th appearance on the season. He's 3-4, 2.04 ERA. As we mentioned earlier, a 3-1 strikeout walk ratio. Opponents hit 133 off Tills, but the impressive number that Isaiah brings to the bump is he has a whip of 0.99. And again, we've talked about that throughout the season. You got that whip below 1.5, you're going to win games. He's sub-1, just like his counterpart, Brett Ziffel, who was 0.96.
Do we have Defiance's lineup? Let's bring it up. There we go. Logan Hutchison will lead it off as he'll dig in from the left side. Hutchison hitting .365 on the season. Takes a first pitch sinking fastball for a strike. Cohen Stockman roaming right field. He'll be hitting second. Brady Borton roaming center field. Borton, one of the best hitters average-wise on this team, hitting .415. Noah Gomez, Cody Shaw, Khalil Ligon, the first baseman, bat sixth. Colt Ward, the freshman DH, at seventh. Drew Allegretti getting the starting nod at third, will hit eighth. And the pitcher, senior Brez Ziffel, batting ninth. No balls and 2 strikes. This one short hops the catcher. Let's take a look at the defense for the Tornadoes, as we mentioned. And this is incorrect. Isaiah Tills will be the pitcher. Scoop broke him down. Junior Jamison Westner will be completing the battery as this one misses upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. From left to right on the infield, it goes senior, sophomore, junior. Bradley Willman, Braden Egbert, Blake Galden, and Connor Reese. Junior freshman from left to right in the outfield. Arias, Wilcox, and Little. 2-hopper to second base. Galden, boy, that throw, it sailed just a bit, and it pays to have a tall, rangy first baseman as Connor Reese plucks that out of midair. That was about an inch or two from an error and possibly an extra base. Instead, one away.
Yeah, great job by Connor Reese there to keep his foot on the base and able to stretch and backhand that baseball. That looked like one of those Steve Sachs throws there for a moment, but good play there. Quick first out there for Tills.
So here's Cohen Stockman digging in from the left side. Stockman, senior right fielder, going hitting .298 on the season. Looking at a 1-0 count. Hopped up, left side. Wind giving some issues to Arias. Wow, and he has to reach way out and make the catch. He had that once, twice, and still almost misplayed it. Scoop with that wind blowing across the diamond, and it's a little gusty, 15 to 20 miles an hour. We talked about it during the pregame. No such thing as a routine fly ball today.
Well, that was anything but routine. Off the bat, he started running toward the left field foul line, had to make a misread adjustment, and then he had to reach back to haul in that fly ball. But 2 quick outs for the Tornadoes, trying to retire the Bulldogs in order here. as they'll now have to go through Brady Borton, hitting .415 on the season, trying to start things here with 2 outs.
Borton checks his swing on an 0-1, just above the letters. Borton leads the team in hit by pitch with double digits. He's worn 11 this season. It's helped lead to his team leading on base percentage of .541. The 1-1 swung on and fouled straight back.
Well, Coach Rick Weaver has the right guys at the top of the lineup. You look at Logan Hutchinson. He's a guy that's walked 22 times. Stockman's walked 21 times. Borton been hit by a pitch 11 times. They get a lot of freebies. You combine that with their speed, that could be good math for your offense.
Tills, high, tight leg kick. Maybe tried to hump that one up a little too much as it short hops the catcher, Westner. Count evens up at 2-2.
Yeah, right now Tills having a problem locating his off-speed pitches. Right now, if you're Borton, you're looking for the fastball here.
He works out of the stretch even with nobody aboard as this one misses below the knees, and Brady Borton has worked the count full 3-2.
Yeah, once again, he went with a secondary pitch. It ends up being down in the dirt. So right now, Borton here looking for a fastball on the payoff pitch.
3-2, Tills, long look in at Westner. Payoff pitch on the way, fouled straight back. He had a good rip.
Yes,
outfield, for the most part, straightaway depth. I would think that maybe on the right side, if you're little in right field, you might want to play a little deeper with the wind blowing across the diamond that way, but we've yet to see one hit Oppo.
Well, I think especially with 2 outs, you want a no-doubles defense. Yeah. Try to keep Borton at first base if he does connect with a hit.
3-2 off speed. This is a chopper to third. Willman, oh, he misplays it. It bounces over his head, and that's going to be an infield single. Wow. A turf hop helps out Brady Borton, and the Bulldogs have their first base runner of the evening.
A great job by Borton, just putting the ball in play. Remember, Borton's got good speed. 9 stolen bases on the season. This certainly might be a running opportunity for Defiance with 2 outs, trying to find a way to get Borton in scoring position.
You got an excellent contact hitter in Noah Gomez digging in, hitting .420 on the season.
Yeah, Gomez leads the Bulldogs in hits with 29 this season. Also has 6 extra base knocks.
This one upstairs. Continuing to watch Tills here. He has, I don't want to call it a stiff delivery scoop, but it's not as fluid or loose as we've seen some other pitchers. He's high, comes over the top, and then I don't know how tall he is. I'm going to check the roster here. He can't be probably much more than 6 foot, but he throws downhill. He comes over the top.
He almost throws like an Iron Mike machine. I mean, he comes right over the top. He just kind of got that whip, but it does look stiff. It's not one of those loose arms that you'd see.
Throw over to first, and it scoots by Reese. Borton is up, and he is going to go ahead and turn second. He's checking in with Coach Weaver. There'll be a play at third. Not in time. Well, the throw over by Tills got away from Reese. Borton didn't realize it. He got somewhat of a later jump than he normally would, but you can't coach speed, and it still ends up being 2 extras.
Well, that's big because we've mentioned that Tills right now has struggled with his off-speed pitches. He's buried a few here in this first inning, so maybe a fastball to get here for Noah Gomez, trying to bring home the game's first run.
2-1. This one, a shot up the middle. Nice range by Egbert. Fires, and a good stretch by Reese. And the 2-out threat by Defiance is snuffed out here in the bottom of the first. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left aboard. Goose eggs all the way around through 1. We'll head to the top of the second. No score in this sectional opener between Defiance and Columbia Tillman. We're back right after this on DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Back at Defiance, those clouds look somewhat ominous. They're low hanging, but right now we do not anticipate any rain as we head to the top of the second. No score in this sectional playoff opener between the host Defiance Bulldogs entering today's contest at 21-1 overall, and the visiting Columbian Tiffin Tornadoes 9-13. As Brez Zippel will get set to deal to 4, 5, and 6. Third baseman Bradley Willman will lead it off. Second baseman Blake Galden on deck. And first baseman Connor Reese in the hole. Digging in from the right side, Willman. Thick, barrel-chested young man as he takes inside for ball one.
Let's go, compete.
Willman hitting just below 100 at .077. And this is out of the cleanup spot. Takes a strike. The 1-1. Zippel deals. Late decision on the swing there, and Zippel ahead in the count 1-2.
Yeah, right now if you're Brez, I think you just go right after him with the fastball. You don't want to speed up the bat going off speed.
Nah.
There's a good-looking heater. Just misses downstairs.
It's a competitive pitch. Good hold at the same time by Willman. Count now 2-2. Get a good look from our center field camera. Zippel working quickly. Got him looking, strike three. Boy, that had some deep sink to it. And a backwards K for the second premier bank strikeout of the ball game for Brez Zippel.
Well, for Brez Zippel, as you mentioned, the second strikeout. This is the way he started out the first inning. He was able to retire leadoff man Jackson Little, who got caught looking. So 2 strikeouts now for Brez here out of the first 4 outs.
So here's Galden digging in. Swings and misses. The bottom fell out of that pitch, strike one.
You know, both these pitchers come in, Brent, averaging 1.5 strikeouts per inning. So both these guys have been high strikeout guys all season. Right now, Brez looks like he's got a really strong fastball here this afternoon and really command all his pitches to this point.
Galden swings and misses. Looked like a slider there. Some good vertical run. 1-2. Ahead in the count, we'll see if he wastes a pitch or if he comes right at him. The 1-2 on the way. Oh, bottom fell out of that pitch. Shaw, and they're going to say he caught it clean. He showed the ball to the home plate umpire, Jeff Bauman. Bauman says that is strike 3. That's another Premier Bank strikeout. 2 up, 2 down.
That's a nasty 12-6 curveball that time. As you mentioned, the bottom just kind of fell out, so 2 quick punch-outs here to start the second inning.
So that'll bring up Connor Reese. Left-handed hitting first baseman. Zippel tries a bender, and that one squirts out of the mitt of Shaw. Reese hitting just .255 entering today's contest.
Zippel needed just 8 pitches in that first inning to retire the Tornadoes in order. With the 2 strikeouts, he's already gone over that 8-pitch mark, but he'll take it.
There's that 12-6 again, and Reese swings right over the top of it.
When you can locate that pitch when you're down in the count 1-0 and hit your spot like that, boy, it's going to be tough for these hitters. This time he tries to double him up. This time it misses off the plate.
Zippel a little upset with himself. Will step off the rubber, gather his thoughts, and then retoes it. He's working with some very quick pace here in the early going. As that one tried to firm up on the inside corner, it was a good job by Shaw to frame it, but home plate umpire Jeff Bauman says ball 3. On the way. Obligatory 3-1 fastball, strike 2. And I'm not sure what Reese was looking for, but boy, that's a pitch I'm sure he wishes he had back.
Yeah, 3-1, you're well behind a fastball.
He's well behind this one as he's late and fouls it away. He buys himself another pitch.
Well, this will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat for Connor Reese, and for Zippel trying to get his 3rd punch out of the inning.
He wants a different baseball. He was not a fan of that last one. He'll try and work this one over. A little chilly. Was given permission by the umpires to go to his mouth. And the payoff pitch is coming. Got him looking, strike 3. Capital K, capital K, capital K. 3 straight Premier Bank strikeouts, 2 of them backwards, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Brez Zippel and the Defiance Bulldogs. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. No score. Defiance, nothing. Columbia Tiffin, nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports.
At Arthur Law Firm, we understand how overwhelming life can be after being seriously injured in a car accident. With over 50 years of experience, Arthur Law Firm has a track record of getting the results you deserve. When you don't know where to turn, get answers with Arthur. Call us today.
Ohio is in a foster care crisis. Kids with real needs, medical, emotional, behavioral, are waiting for homes. Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care is looking for families ready to make a difference. You've thought about it, now it's time. Contact Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care today.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Well, there you take a good look at the senior right-hander, Isaiah Tills, for Tiffin Columbian, as he and his counterpart, senior Brez Zippel for Defiance, been able to keep the opponents off the board here in the early going. He will deal to 5, 6, and 7. Cody Shaw, senior catcher, will lead it off for the Bulldogs, followed by first baseman Khalil Ligon and the freshman designated hitter Colt Ward. Tills, high leg kick. Whew. Boy, that was a true 12-6. Man, that brought some dew down with it, and it's a called first strike.
Great looking pitch that time. That's a pitch he really hasn't located yet, but that was perfectly placed there to Shaw.
We tried to double him up, and he missed upstairs, and he got away with one. Shaw shaking his head. He didn't come up with that one. He took a rip.
That one just a little bit too much upstairs there for Shaw.
The 0-2. Boy, he's working, I don't want to say exclusively with it, but he's given him 3 straight. This one misses inside. See if he gives him something different to look at, or at least change his eye level. The 1-2. This one misses on the outer third of the plate. Evens things up at 2-2.
Now he was clearly trying to go upstairs with that 12-6 curveball that time, but misses off the plate.
Shaw hitting .365 on the season, awaits the 2-2. Tills tries to hump that one up and short hops his catcher. And from 0-2, Shaw has now worked the count to 3-2.
That time Tills just missed his spot. He tried to sneak that fastball to knees, just missed it by a couple inches.
Payoff pitch. Ooh, that bounces off of his front shoulder, and he's biting his lower lip. Shaw, prototypical baseball player fashion, says, you know what, you could have hit me earlier, but he'll head down, take first base, and the leadoff man aboard for the Bulldogs here in the second.
Well, that would have been ball 4, so that's the one you really don't have to wear, but that time that fastball just got on top of Shaw in a hurry. And there's a freebie for Defiance, so we'll see if Ligon here can find a way to move him into scoring position. We talked about how, Tills given up just over 3 hits per 7 innings this year, so this might be an early opportunity to play a little small ball. We'll see if Ligon is sack button here against Tills.
He's hitting .270, digging in from the right side. He shows bunt. He offers, comes up empty. Snap throw to first. Shaw got way too far off the bag, and he's going to be backpicked. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, what a play there by Jamison Wasner behind the dish. He alertly, after the missed bunt attempt by Ligon, spotted Shaw a little bit out in no man's land, and Shaw tardy to get back. Boy, that's a big play there as Defiance has really turned this inning around with a base run in air.
The 0-1, Ligon takes a strike on the inside corner. Boy, an inning that started so promisingly all of a sudden has Defiance on their heels a little bit as Ligon looking at an 0-2 count. Tills, high leg kick. This one popped up left field, drifting over is Arias, calling for it, battling the wind, and he completely whiffs. And this is going to be a lot of trouble. Ligon rounding second. He will stand up into third, and that is where they'll hold him up. We talked about that wind, and as I'm looking at the Stars and Stripes right now, Scoop, they are blowing as basically as stiff as we've seen all day, and Arias, that ball was just too tough to haul in.
Well, you have to keep it in front of you. I mean, easier said than done, but you know the wind is blowing straight out. That ball was sit up there in the stratosphere. But again, they kind of drifted back on it. You could see from the get-go that was going to eat him up. And now Tiffin Columbian forced to bring the infield in here a little bit.
They're going to call it an error, E7. Just the same, the go-ahead run now standing 90 feet away for arguably the hottest hitter on this squad right now, the freshman DH, Colt Ward.
Yeah, I don't think this is a situation you're going to have Ward butting in. He's going to be swinging away, especially with the infield cheating in.
Fouls this one straight back, and he's upset with himself. He dipped the barrel of the bat down. Was just a little late on it. Ward coming into today's contest. Oh, where are you here, freshman?
Oh, he's hitting 500 on the season, a .558 on-base percentage, so those numbers lead Defiance. Certainly the guy you want up in this hitting scenario. I mean, you wouldn't just be situational right now. Anything upstairs with the wind blowing out should be a sac fly. Any ground ball up the middle should also play to run the middle infield about halfway.
The corners are in as he chops this one right at first. Ligon's coming home to play at the plate. What a throw by Reese. They got him. Boy, what tremendous defense here in the bottom of the second right now by Columbian Tiffin. One on the pickoff and then one to gun down the would-be go-ahead run at home.
Yeah, that time Ward put the ball in play, but with the corners in, that was right at Connor Reese at first base. And credit Connor Reese once again. He threw a strike to Wasner behind the dish, and Ligon was really out by a country mile there. So both Defiance outs have come on the base pass here this inning.
Break that play down, Scoop, is squaring to bunt. Boy, that one was a ricochet off the bat. Charging in is Willman, and the throw is wide as Allegretti. Don't look back, young man, go! Rounding second, rounding third, and is that ball out of play as coming home to score is Colt Ward, stopping at third, and now the question is anybody going to go check the ball as Coach Weaver is telling Allegretti to go ahead and go on home, but that ball looks like it might be dead down the right field line, and now the question is they're going to call the base runner back. They're going to point to second and third. They're going to have Ward go back to third, Allegretti back to second, and Coach Weaver is pleading his case to home plate umpire Jeff Ballman.
I did not see how it went out of play, but typically you get two from a throw, so Defiance could be easily back in second and third scenario, but that must have had help from the right fielder there. It was out of our camera shot up here in this first base press box. We were kind of blinded. Rick Weaver adamantly thinks he should have another run scored.
And right now, getting a little emphatic about it.
Right. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, they're calling him back. Jeff Ballman is calling Ward back out of the dugout, saying he goes to third, and he's moving Allegretti back to second. And now, again, Mark Kuhn's going to come in and have a conversation. So give the men in blue credit. They're going to talk this over, but the question is who had the better angle on it.
The rule is it's two from the time of the throw. Now, if that ball was thrown out of play, it should be second and third. Now, if the right fielder picked it up and then he dropped it out of play, it's two from the time he dropped the baseball. I did not see what happened being blinded. So right now I can only guess which of those two scenarios unfolded.
They're going to talk it over with Coach Weaver in the middle, but it looks like the change in call is not forthcoming here. So it will be runners at second and third take the run off the board, and it will require a 2-out hit from senior Brez Ziffel.
Pitcher, number 15, Brez Ziffel.
Well, in all, I like the bunt. We saw that time from Allegretti. Probably an ill-advised throw by Willman. You're not going to throw him out on that bunt. All you're going to do is risk a throw out of play.
Ziffel, very late swing at the letters, strike one.
But what this bunting game has done here is pulled the corners in. So now a hard ground ball toward either line should play a couple Bulldogs here. As both Willman and Reese are playing up on the grass.
Ziffel hitting just $180, and he swings over the top of this one. He's down in the strikes, down on the count now. No balls and 2 strikes. Defiance threatening despite some tremendous defense by Columbian Tiffin. They've also thrown the ball around the infield at the same time. Feast or famine.
Yeah, right now, how big's that pickoff play from Wasner there that was the first out for Defiance in this inning?
Well, Defiance, we'll see if they've run themselves out of this inning or not. This one, a short hop. Well, I said it would take a 2-out hit, but I will say this, if you're Ward, there have been a couple that have been probably about 58 feet from Isaiah Tills, too, so you need to read the ball in the dirt as much as anything.
Yeah, it was a great play by Wasner that time to save a wild pitch and a potential run for the Bulldogs.
2-2, swung on very late, fouled off of Wesner, and he is gimpy as he's going back to take that baseball, and this is a show of class by Jeff Bauman as he's going to walk the ball out to the mound.
Yeah, Westner is certainly a tough kid behind the dish, but that's going to sting a little bit. But he tells them, hey, I'm good to go. Here's the baseball.
It's that unspoken code between catcher and home plate umpire, right?
No doubt about it. You kind of take care of each other back there. You buy the other time when you think they need it. Good show of class there from Jeff Ballman.
So we'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 aboard. Both runners in scoring position. Defiance trying to break the scoreboard. The bottom falls out of that, and Brez Ziffel strikes out swinging for the second inning on a Premier Bank strikeout to snuff out the threat. No runs on no hits, 1 error, and 2 left aboard. We are through to no score, Defiance and Columbian Tiffin. We're back after this on DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need to make your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Number 23, Ethan Wilcox.
There you get a good look at the tree line and some of those low clouds. Now, again, not raining, just very overcast. No score through 2. No runs, no hits. 3 errors for Columbian Tiffin. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Defiance. And we'll see if the bottom of the second comes back to play a significant role in this game. But 4 base runners for Defiance, and yet turned away scoreless as Brez Ziffel will deal to the bottom of the order. This one inside out. It's going to have a ton of English on it. They're going to have to hustle, and wow. Again, Khalil Liggins stayed back on that ball. Brez Ziffel got over, but just great job to leg out the infield single by Ethan Wilcox.
Well, yeah, you can see it from up here. Once he decides he's going to let that ball bounce, played off the bounce, just no chance to throw out the junior, Ethan Wilcox. So that'll go down as an infield hit.
Yeah.
And now With Wesner up, you would think the bunt's probably going to be in order here for the Tornadoes, trying to manufacture a run. Here's a quick throw by Zippel to try to keep Wilcox close to first base.
Wesner hitting just a $143 out of the 8-hole, and you got to figure he will be bunting as they're trying to keep Wilcox at first and see if Wesner might tip. But if you're going to lay money on percentage of baseball, you got to figure the sacrifice is on. Although he doesn't show there, and he takes a strike down around the knees.
The thing you have to deal with, you also have the on-deck hitter in Egbert hitting just 130.
Yeah.
So are you bunting him over for a 130 hitter? You're going to take your chances
here. Throw goes to first, and it scoots away, and everybody just throwing the ball around the infield right now. They're going to go ahead and send him to third, and there will not be a play, and that's going to be 2 bases on the error on the throw. And right now, neither team just looking very solid in the field, Scoop. Error after error.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're doing right there. He's not showing bunt. They're not going to try to run, I don't think, on Cody Shaw, especially in this scenario. But now they're going to have 3 opportunities to drive home the game's first run.
There you see Cody Shaw do the right thing. You don't need a coach as a senior catcher and a leader on this team to make a trip to the mound and just tell your star, calm down. Okay, you're amped up right now. Just stay within yourself. We'll take care of things.
You don't think runs might be a premium today? Defiance with no outs, bringing the infield in here. And remember, we're in just the 3rd inning, but I think this is certainly the right move to make.
Yeah. Runner standing at third, nobody out, infield in, but you have a $143 hitter up. And if you're Brez Zippel, go after him. Be your own best friend with the strikeout. And he does just that. Strike 3. And that will be his 4th Premier Bank K of the ball game. Still not out of the weeds, though, with the 9-hole Braden Egbert digging in.
No, but that's a huge help right there. The 5th Premier Bank strikeout for Zippel. And I like how he was able to attack right away. Didn't waste pitches. I don't think that's something you want to do with the runner on third.
No.
Risk a wild pitch. And now the 9-hitter Egbert, who leads the team in sack bunts, maybe a squeeze situation sometime during this at-bat. We'll see what happens. He does handle the bat very well, as we mentioned. Leads the Tornadoes in sack bunts on the season.
He's also only hitting a $130.
Yeah,
so there's a reason why. He's probably been basically out of necessity made to bunt, but he's looking at a 2-0 count right now. And Brez Zippel, I don't want to say is fighting himself, Scoop, but he just doesn't look comfortable right now on the bump.
Yeah, right now you got a sophomore hitting $130, you go right after him. And a lot of times in this scenario, you might give the squeeze after the first strike, but right now, a big no-no here by Brez as he's falling behind the number 9 hitter, 3-0. Remember, Jackson Little, a guy hitting 370 with goodwill, standing in the on-deck circle.
3-0. You got to figure Egbert's taking 1, if not 2. So the obligatory get me over 3-0 fastball, strike 1.
I think you're Brez. You don't get cute right here. I think you go right down Main Street and you challenge him with a fastball.
Again, young man hitting just a $130. There's another strike 2, and he certainly was keeping the bat on his shoulder.
And again, that was the fastball right down the heart of the plate.
You dish him up one more, don't you?
I think you do.
3-2. This one fouled straight back.
You got to make him earn it. I think you have to go after the 9-hole. The next 2 hitters hitting 370 and 294. So right now you trust your defense. I know the infield's in.
Zippel, new ball. From the stretch, belt high, 3-2. Walked him, ball 4. And as you can imagine, cheers erupting from the Tiffin dugout.
Another freebie here given up by Defiance. The first one, that 2-base error that allowed Wilcox to go from first and third. And now the walk to the number 9 hitter, the sophomore Braden Egbert. Now a visit here from Rick Weaver. Because right now they got to decide what you're going to do. We're going to stay back, double play depth, or we're going to move the infield in.
You saw everybody pat Brez Zippel on the head right there, Scoop. Right now, this isn't anything physical, but this is somewhat surprising. Brez Zippel just maybe a little too amped up to start the game. Clearly a situation here where, as you talked about it, one ground ball gets you out of this inning unscathed.
It does. And I think Coach Weaver is probably talking about, hey, this could be a very good possibility, a bunt scenario. You got a freshman up there that handles the bat very well. We want to stay out of that double play. We'll see what the Tornadoes come up with.
Well, Little takes, and he takes strike one. He struck out looking to lead off the ball game, and Zipfel doesn't look like he's messing around. He wants to quick pitch, and Little is going to step out, try and make him wait. And as you see Cody Shaw give the signals to the defense. Middle infield pinching back at double play depth. Remember, Hutchison normally the third baseman, but playing short today was Zipfel on the bump. Gomez normally sure-handed as well. As this one outside. No score. Top of the third. Runners at the corners for Tiff and Columbian. Swing and a miss. That looked like a late decision by Little, as that ball was almost in Shaw's mitt.
Yeah, too long a swing there when he kind of made up his mind late on that pitch, and now he's down a count. So right here, if you're Little, you've got to be situational. Put the ball in play. Try to hit a ground ball, slow one that's not going to be a double play, or also anything up in the jet stream could be deep enough for a sac fly.
The 1-2. Zipfel from the belt goes over to first again. And you can hear some directions over our crowd mic being shouted from the Defiance dugout. Want them back just a little bit more. Zipfel can help his cause, though, here with a K. Nice stop by Shaw. Well, that was part backhanded, part bucket.
Oh, that's a big play right there. That ball was buried there in the dirt. A good-looking glove play by Shaw. And that keeps the double play in order and keeps that runner right at third base.
2-2. Short hops Little. He checked his swing. They're appealing to see if he went, but he did not, and now the count full.
Yeah, surprised that Egbert was not going to second on that dirt ball read with a guy on third. And again, that keeps the double play in order. Huge payoff pitch coming up to the freshman Jackson Little right here.
3-2. Zipfel deals. Ball four. They're loaded. All right. We've got a little more than a little something brewing here in the early going, as Jace Arias will dig in with a tornado at every base. No score, only one down. Arias hit a little bit of a humpback liner to Hutchinson at short back in the first inning. Again, short hopping Shaw, and Brez Zipfel's just fighting himself right now.
Yeah, really out of character here. He fell behind the 9-hitter 3-0. Lost him on a full count. Then he loses the freshman Jackson Little on a full count. Now he falls behind Arias 1-0 with the bases juice and no place to put him.
Brings a fastball here, strike one. Was Arias taking?
I think he was taking. He was taking a strike there. That time he got a fastball down Main Street. Good-looking heater that time by Brez.
No place to put him. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A tornado at every base in a scoreless game here in the top of the third. Zipfel trying to work his way out of a jam. They're going to bunt, coming in on it, and nobody's covering first. Oh, my goodness. The run scores, and everybody will be safe.
Tremendous bunt that time by Arias. And Ligon came in, played off the hop, but the only play he had since it was a squeeze there, run on the pitch from third base was the first. He looked over, and Gomez, Tardy getting over.
Yep.
Going to go down as an infield single. And wow, right now, if you're Tiff and Columbian, you're looking to put up a crooked number. They've got the same scenario again with Tills, their best hitter at the plate.
First pitch swinging, laces this one into left field. 1 run is home. They're going to go ahead and wave. Nope, they're not. They're going to hold Little at third, as it's now 2-0 Tornadoes.
Credit the Tornadoes. They're taking advantage of a couple free gifts. And again, you got a guy like Tills up there, a free swinger. He comes up, he hits the ball hard once again.
Third baseman.
And consecutive singles after consecutive walks have led to 2 quick runs for the Tornadoes. Looking for more. Bases are still packed. Just one out for the cleanup hitter, Bradley Willman.
Again, Willman as the cleanup hitter hitting below 100 entering today's game, .077.
Well, remember, the Tornadoes are out of one of their best hitters on the season with an injury, so they've had to kind of jockey things up.
Johnny Bremeyer had been their cleanup hitter, but he got injured 2 weeks ago.
I think instead of just shifting the lineup around, he wanted to stay at the same order, and he's inserted Willman into that spot. But right now, Willman, you've got to be situational here. You've got to put the ball in play. Try to put a little pressure on this Defiance defense here.
0-1, squaring to bunt, fouled back. 0-2.
Well, I was waiting for that to come there. When you're hitting 077, you're probably not waiting for a base knock or even putting the ball in play. No. Right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see the bunt here with 2 strikes. We'll see what happens. This is the second time through, so Willman has seen Zippel a little bit.
Zippel taking his time as he toes the rubber. Comes set. Swing and a miss. He got him to chase above the letters. That is a big Premier Bank strikeout, 2 away.
Yes, it is, and that's now 6 strikeouts through 2 2/3 innings for Ziffel, but not out of the woods yet. You want to really try to minimize it right here. If you're Tiffin Columbian, you're looking for as much separation as you can get, looking for that clutch 2-out hit.
Galden digs in from the right side, 0 for 1. Struck out as part of a 1-2-3 inning just an inning ago.
And Galden does lead the Tornadoes in walks, so a guy that typically does not expand the zone. Ziffel behind 1-0 here.
Well, nowhere to put him with the bases loaded, and Perez misses inside. 2-0.
I think Defiance awfully fortunate. That ball did not hit Galden that time as he had to bail out of the way.
Ziffel working quickly. And that one squirts past Shaw. Will there be a play at the plate? There will not. Sliding home, Jackson Little with the 3rd run of the inning on the wild pitch. Everybody else advances 90 feet. It's now 3-0 Tornadoes.
Another freebie as Ziffel has lost control here a little bit. 3-0 count. But right now, don't be surprised as Galden has a green light here with runners in scoring position, sitting dead red. You're looking for a fastball in your nitro zone, and that's it. Taken all the way there.
3-1. Again, still very early in this game, but a big crooked number being put up by Columbian Tiffin right now. And they're looking for more. As this one, a chopper up the middle. Hutchinson gobbles it up across the diamond. And that will do it, but not before the Tornadoes come up big. 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left aboard. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. Bulldogs have been punched in the mouth. We'll see how they respond. You're watching DCTV Sport.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need to make your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Get a good look from our 3rd base camera at the Defiance dugout as they're on their heels right now. The number 1 seed giving up a 3 spot in the top half of this frame to Columbian Tiffin. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error for the Bulldogs. Brent Balbanon alongside Scoop Millers. We welcome you back to the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, celebrating 70 years of helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon, and as always online at midwestcommunity.org. Well, there we take a look at our crew changing lanes here at the ballpark. Bottom of the 3rd brings up the top of the order. Hutchison, Stockman, and Borton trying to get something back as they surrendered 3 in the top half of this frame, and Isaiah Tills worked his way out of a jam with runners at 2nd and 3rd an inning ago. We'll see how he handles things here as he comes right down central with a fastball, strike 1. Hutch 0 for 1, you see, hitting .327 on the season. Grounded out to 2nd in the bottom of the 1st. Takes outside here. Scoop, in this situation, a walk is as good as a hit.
Well, not about it. We talked about it many times. Shutdown innings win games. So right now, the Tornadoes need that shutdown inning. Defiance needs to stop that by finding a way just to scratch anything across the board. And again, there's no style point. So get on base however you can. Doesn't matter how you set the table. You just want to make sure your team's eating this inning. So you got to find a way to dent that scoreboard. And right now, Defiance just 1 hit through 2 innings.
Whoa, that one inside. The way he leaned back, I wasn't sure if that might have clipped him, but it's ball 3.
Great job by Hutchison. Understands the importance of the moment. Just find a way to get on base. And now Tills has gotten into a 3-ball count here. Look for Hutchison to be taken unless he gets something right down in his wheel well here.
Well, you saw Tills take a walk around the bump to try and calm himself down as this one's a shot, but right at the second baseman, Galden. It floats, and again, another great pick by Reese. He has been flashing some really strong leather over at first.
Oh, tremendous job there by Reese. That ball actually pulled him off the base, but he alertly was able to get that right foot back on the base before Hutchison was able to get there. Boy, an important first out for the Tornadoes, looking for that shutdown inning after the offense put up 3 runs in the top half of the frame.
So here's Stockman digging in, 0 for 1 with a fly out to left. He shows bunt, and he pulls back and takes strike 1. Well, Willman, the third baseman, still staying well in on the grass. And likewise now Reese coming in, probably about 3 or 4 feet at first, as this one misses outside. The Bulldogs have had at least 1 base runner in every inning so far. They left 2 aboard, both in scoring position a frame ago. This one fouled away, 1-2. All right, we'll see what Tills deals here ahead in the count. Scoop, we've talked about him. Again, I'm not saying this in a negative fashion, but Tills' delivery is just, it seems a little stiff. It's not as fluid as what you might see. But he comes over the top, and there he tried to hump that one up maybe a bit too much. 2-2.
Right now, I think he's got all options available. He's starting to get more confidence in his bender. We've seen him have success with the fastball. But right now he's in a 2-2 count, so you want to avoid getting to that 3-ball count. If you're Stockman, you should get something across the plate right here.
Shakes off. Boy, shakes off multiple times. Finally gets the call that he likes. From the stretch, the 2-2 on the way. Check swing. Oh, they're going to appeal, but there's no way he went, especially down at first base. I'm not sure how you would expect Mark Kuhn to be able to have the angle to make that call.
Hardly any first base umpire is going to even accept the appeal that time when you're seeing a left-handed hitter up there. You're standing foul ground there behind first base.
Payoff pitch. Tills, high leg kick, deals. This one a shot up the middle and into right center field. It'll be a 1-out single. Good piece of hitting by Cohen Stockman.
It really was. A great at-bat by Stockman. He worked him into a full count. And that time, Tills, wanting to avoid the freebie, goes down Main Street. And credit Stockman, he doesn't miss it. He turns that baseball around, and a 1-out single gives Defiance here a little life in this 3rd inning.
So here's Brady Borton digging in, entering today's contest, hitting .415 on the season. Speed burner. Actually has more triples than doubles this season. Right now just trying to keep the line moving as he checks his swing and takes his strike upstairs.
Right now, Jace Arias playing awfully deep in left field after getting burned on a high fly ball early.
Runner goes. Borton swings and fouls it back. Strike 2.
Well, I like the scenario here. A lot of times coaches won't run when you're down 3 runs, you know. But the fact that Tills has a high leg kick, has a slow delivery to the plate, and we certainly know Stockman's got plenty of speed as he has 10 stolen bases on the season. If he gets a jump, he'll be off and running again.
This one upstairs. Boy, and I tell you what, Stockman kind of baiting Westner there. He strolled, and I mean strolled back to the bag. Westner made it seem like he was going to go ahead and make a snap throw. Not the case. This one misses upstairs as well.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Stockman's not taking off, but he'll be taking off this pitch. He's got such a high leg kick. You just don't want to hit a line drive at somebody here and get doubled up.
The 2-2. This one, snap throw back to first. Boy, he's got an arm. Scoop, I'm unofficial here, but the last 2 deliveries I've had Tills at about 1-3 to 1-3-5.
Yeah, and that's runnable, I think, for Stockman there, even if you've got a good catcher that's throwing 2-0 with Stockman's wheels.
Well, 3-2, they're going to send the runner. Oh, my, and did he? Wait a minute. The way Jeff Baum came out, I thought he punched him out, and he did. Brady Borton thought he had ball 4. He was 3/4 of the way down to first, and I thought I misread Jeff Bauman, but no. He raised his right arm. That's strike 3.
He did. That looked like a good pitch, too, from Tills, and that will be a Premier Bank strikeout. Just the second for Tills here this afternoon. But on that, Stockman does steal second base, so base hit could drive home a run.
This one, a low strike. Gomez 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Hit a ball sharply up the middle. Inning ago. This one misses downstairs. Well, you've got good speed at second base in Cohen Stockman. 1-1 count. Up. Bluff on the inside move. Nothing doing.
Well, that's a smart play by the senior. You have nothing to lose by doing the inside move. You might catch somebody like Stockman trying to sneak a base.
Runner bluffs going. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Come on, Noah.
Tills taking a little extra time. Does he want another baseball? Rick Weaver's coming over, and what's the conversation here?
Well, Gomez was trying to call time there before the pitch, but I think Jeff Bauman ruled, the pitch is eminent, so you do not have to grant time. I think that had a little bit to do with the swing and miss there we saw from Gomez to fall behind 1-2. So I think Coach Rick Weaver just wanted to question, hey, why was my guy not granted time?
Just everything seems a little off today for Defiance. So the 1-2. Way upstairs. It pops out of the mitt and not reading it, not moving. Stockman comes back.
Well, that's a smart move there. I think it's too much risk reward there to try to get third there on that ball that you don't know if he's going to see it right away, if he's maybe baiting you or not. And now 2's are wild here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Swing and a miss. He got him. A Premier Bank strikeout. And for the second straight inning, Defiance leaves a runner in scoring position. No runs on a hit. No errors, and 1 left the board. We're through 3. Columbia Tiffin 3, Defiance nothing. We're back after this on DCTV Sports.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Top of the fourth. We welcome you back to Defiance, as it will be 6, 7, and 8. Connor Reese, Ethan Wilcox, and Jamison Westner taking their second cuts of the afternoon against Defiance senior starter Brez Zippel. Tornadoes, 3 runs on 3 hits, and a couple of errors. Defiance, no runs on 2 hits, 1 key error. This one lifted to shallow left field, drifting over, playing that wind, and Abel Rubio squeezes for out number 1.
Yeah, big first out there for Brez Zippel and company after really having a tough third inning where they just could not buy outs, a high pitch count inning. Now a quick first out for Brez, as they'll now have to go through Ethan Wilcox, who singled and scored just an inning ago.
First pitch swinging, popped up behind second base, drifting back. Gomez puts the leather to it. 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Right now, this is what the doctor ordered, you know, for Defiance. They got to find a way to get some momentum, even if it's not by scoring a run right now. Just try to get some confidence, because right now the wind's been taken out of their sails. They've taken a couple punches here from the Tornadoes, and now they've got to find a way to fight themselves back in it.
So here's Jamison Westner digging in, takes a strike at the knees. Westner 0 for 1, struck out swinging to lead off the third. Zippel working quickly. This one fouled up the third base line, 0-2. Well, softball playoffs are also underway, and we've been given a final here down at Racer Park in Lima. Don't tell them it's an upset, as Defiance knocks off the top seed Salina 7-3 in 8 innings. As this one a check swing, and Jeff Bauman points at Jamison Westner. He says you went, strike 3, a Premier Bank strikeout. Makes it a 1-2-3 frame. We'll see if that sparks some Bulldog offense. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Tornadoes 3, Defiance nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Ohio is in a foster care crisis. Kids with real needs, medical, emotional, behavioral, are waiting for homes. Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care is looking for families ready to make a difference. You've thought about it, now it's time. Contact Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care today.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
We head to the bottom of the fourth. It will be 5, 6, and 7 for Defiance. Bulldogs, number 1 seed, but on their heels right now, trailing 3-0 to Columbian Tiffin. Shaw, Ligon, and Ward will take their second cuts of the afternoon against Isaiah Tills.
Well, Chills has been cruising here through 3 innings. Meanwhile, Brez Zippel really has had 3 solid innings out of 4, but that 33-pitch inning in the third inning where Tiffin Columbian put up 3 big runs. Then he came back with a 6-pitch inning there, including a strikeout there just moments ago. Now Defiance trying to garner some momentum here as Cody Shaw, the senior, will start things out here for Defiance, trailing 3-0 here at the midway point of this one.
Shaw led off the second, was hit by a pitch, but then got back-picked when Khalil Ligon was at the plate. Uncharacteristically just wandered off the bag on a failed sacrifice attempt. First pitch swinging, pop foul, right side, Reese giving chase. Did he make that catch? Yes, he did. Again, we get screened out to a large portion of the right side of the field here, so we're relying on our cameraman, and he even disappeared from lens sight for a second, but he came back with the baseball and one away.
Well, Reese has been really solid. We saw him with the nice tag on Shaw at the back pick. A nice catch right there. He's had a couple good stretches at first base. Remember, he had an assist there where Defiance was trying to score on a ground ball to the first baseman as well.
Ligon takes a nasty-looking bender for strike one. Khalil reached on an error back in the second, was thrown out at home trying to score on a ground ball to first. I know you would be easy to look at Isaiah Pills right now, Scoop, but defensively, I think you look at Connor Reese as the man of the hour for the Tornadoes.
Well, he's changed a couple ends around with
his
glove and his arm. And right now, Till's doing exactly what he needs to do, just pounding the strike zone, force Defiance to beat you with the hits.
This one misses low and away.
Let's go, come on, man. Find a way. Let's go.
1-2. Still a lot of ball left to be played, but Defiance has squandered several opportunities as that pitch was well above the letters. Ligon just caught a piece of it to stay alive.
Come on, man. Find a way.
Yeah, that time Ligon took a healthy swing there. That ball was up out of the zone. Fortunate to fight that off. Count remains at 1-2.
Tills deals way upstairs.
Keep fighting, Khalil. Keep fighting. Let's go, man.
Evens the count up to a piece.
Yeah, Tills trying to kind of hump it up a little bit on Ligon. We'll see if he comes back with a nasty bender here, 2-2.
This one inside out and fisted, ranging over, and a little bit of a hop step by Galden as he makes the catch with 1 foot on the outfield grass.
That's a great pitch by Tills that time that had Ligon set up nicely, was able to locate that 2-2 pitch. And now Colt Ward, the freshman, steps to the plate.
Scoop, you often hear athletes, and I don't care what the sport is, football, basketball, baseball, the term quicksand gets used quite a bit, and it's where one mistake becomes two becomes three, one player's struggles becomes a teammate's, then a second or a third. Ground ball to second, routine. Golden, boy, he's had some issues making the throw over there, but he had plenty of time. Score at 4-3, and the Bulldogs retired in order here in the bottom of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We'll head to the top of the fifth. Tornadoes playing like it right now. They lead 3-0. We're back right after this on DCTV Sport.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
We head to the top of the fifth. 3 runs on 3 hits, 3 errors for visiting Columbian Tiffin. No runs on 2 hits, 1 error for top-seeded and host Defiance. But the only tally on that scoreboard that matters is the first one. As first pitch swinging by the 9-hole Braden Egbert Sends a ground ball to third. Drew Allegretti with a nice throw across the diamond. One away. Brez Zipfel looking for another 1, 2, 3 inning as he retired the Tornadoes in order a frame ago. Lineup turns over. Third trip to the plate for freshman right fielder and leadoff man Jackson Little.
Well, Brez's last 8 pitches, he's got 5 outs. So right now, Tiffin Columbian being very aggressive at the plate, getting that lead. Maybe can do that for you. Right now, Jackson Little, who walked an inning ago at the plate.
1-0 is in there.
And as always, Brent, we've only had 2 walks in this ball game by both teams. And, of course, both those walks came around the score, both issued by Defiance.
This one a liner past a diving Hutchison and into center field. Jackson Little, just a freshman. He doesn't play like it. 1-out single puts one of the speediest, if not the best, base stealer on the roster.
Well, he leads the Tornadoes with 15 stolen bases this season, so certainly a running scenario here to stay out of the double play, try to get in scoring position. Good-looking swing that time by Jackson Little, the freshman.
Zipfel humps it up, and a great stop by Shaw to keep it in front of him.
Well, I'm really surprised they're not trying to get those dirt ball reads. When you see it downstairs, you want to get a little bit more. When you see it hit the turf, you get a little bit more after that. But they've been going back. I think a lot of that has to do with the respect they have for Cody Shaw behind the dish.
Yep. 1-0. Couldn't quite pull the trigger. Arias takes for a strike. Well, still plenty of ball left to be played. 3 more trips to the plate at minimum for Defiance, but down 3-0. A liner again, right back up the middle, back-to-back singles. And a little something brewing here with only 1 out in the top of the 5th for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, good-looking swing by the junior Jace Arias that time as he turns that baseball around right into center field. So 2 consecutive hits after a quick first out. The Tornadoes have something brewing here in this 5th inning, trying to extend a lead.
Here's Tills, 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. Infield back at double play depth for the Bulldogs. Zipfel deals. Boy, Shaw tried to frame that up. Did not get the call, ball 1. Zipfel deals. That one changed a couple lanes of traffic, and it's a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, good-looking pitch that time from Zipfel, especially when you're down in the count, and now he's got it even here at 1-1.
Zipfel deals. Ground ball inside, out it, and into right field. Stockman's got it. They'll hold Little up as the throw comes home. It came up the line. Shaw manages to keep it in front of him, but back-to-back singles for the Tornadoes have loaded the bases.
Again, we've seen a very aggressive approach here by Tiffin Columbian. They're really seeing the baseball this 3rd time through as the top 3 hitters, Little, Arias, and Tills, all connect on base knocks. But now Bradley Williams, who struck out twice here. Willman, we showed bunt an inning ago in this scenario.
Well, they let him swing here, and he comes up empty. I would normally say, is this a case where you give him 1 good cut and then you have him bunt? But a guy who, again, has only been playing in this situation for, the past 3 weeks with the injury to Johnny Bremen, their starting center fielder. And he takes a strike here, 0-2.
A great job by Zipfel going right after Willman, who, again, who's had his struggles offensively this season. Right now, just wants to be situational, put the ball in play.
The 0-2, liner into right field. It gets down. 1 run is home. They're going to go ahead and wave Arias around third. He will score. It's 5-0 Tornadoes.
Credit Willman. Here's a guy that's been struggling offensively and down 0-2 in the count. He finds a way to put the bat on the ball, drives home 2 big runs for Tiffin Columbian. And right now, the Tornadoes would open up a 5-run advantage. Looking for more with 1st and 2nd and just 1 out.
Scoop, before Zipfel made that delivery, I was about to say, yes, you're up 0-2 in the count as this throw squirts away but doesn't go too far. Yet at the same time, you can't be too careless, and that pitch just got too much of the plate. It wasn't hard hit, but it was well placed by Wellman.
Yeah, and he's really had his struggles kind of staying in the zone, but that time he got a pitch across the heart of the plate. Nothing fancy, but puts the bat on the ball.
This one chopped straight down in the dirt, strike one. Golden 0 for 2, struck out swinging in the second, grounded out to third to end the third. 5-0 Tornadoes, and right now, Zippel trying to keep it where it's at as the corners are in, especially Ligon at first. Swinging is a miss. He took something off of that pitch.
Yeah, nasty changeup that time by Ziffel that completely fooled Golden that time. Ziffel on top, 0-2.
And he's been here before. This is where you still have to hit your spots, and what about a 58-footer and a great stop by Shaw.
Well, that's a huge play by Shaw, because if he doesn't make that block, the double play is not in order. They got to pull the infield in. They'll have second and third, but now you've got the double play in order. You got infield fly rule working for you.
Well, they're going to run the daylight play, and the runner back in time as Tills gets his hand on the bag. And here's where, if you're Brez Zippel, probably just best served to focus on the hitter. 1-2. Come up with something good. Trust your stuff here for that second out. This one a chopper back to the mound. They'll go to first. They'll try and make Tills to third, and Ligon elects to go ahead and eat the baseball with 2 down. Runners now at second and third.
Well, that's a break that time for Tiffin Columbian, as Tills was fooled. He thought that was a pop fly instead of a hopper off the plate. And he was going to be out by 60 feet at third. Zippel did not take a peek over. So they do get the out, but right now, Tiffin Columbian runners on second and third, 2 outs, looking for more.
Here's Reese digging in. The lefty swings and misses. First baseman has been spectacular in the field defensively today. At the plate, he's 0 for 2. He struck out looking to end the second, and he flew out to left to open up the fourth. Swing and a miss downstairs. And Zippel ahead in the count now, 0-2.
No, nasty pitch that time from Zippel. Has now gotten ahead of the last 3 hitters, 0-2.
Columbian Tiffin has plated 2. They lead at 5-0. Bender way short. Cody Shaw has just been given a workout so far here this afternoon.
Yeah, another huge play that time by Shaw to keep things in front. And Tilson's the guy that's got good speeds that could possibly score on a dirt ball read, but that time Shaw prevents the advancement.
1-2, Zippel upstairs. Brez smacks his hand against his hip. This is where the senior's just got to slow himself down. 1 strike, 1 out, get you out of the inning here. Long look in, the 2-2. Got him looking, strike 3. Premier Bank strikeout brings an end to the Tornado 5th, but not before Columbian Tiffin comes up big. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and a couple left the board. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Calling Defiance's offense. They need to get something going. They trail 5-0. We'll have it for you when we come back. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
There you get a good look from our grandstand cam. Clouds have been low and gray ever since this morning, but the rain has held off. These two teams not unfamiliar with each other, although it has been a few seasons since they've played. But right now, Isaiah Tills, there you take a look at the senior right-hander. He's been a Bulldog here this afternoon. He's also been the recipient of some very good defense. And he has so far pitched a shutout as we head to the bottom of the fifth. It will be the bottom of the order for the number 1 seed Defiance Bulldogs. The 8-hole Drew Allegretti will lead it off. The 9-hole Brez Ziffel on deck. The lineup rolls over. Leadoff man Logan Hutchison in the hole. Scoop, you and I were talking during that last commercial break. Defiance really needs something this inning, even if it's just one. You got to get on the board.
Yeah, and I like what Tiff and Columbia is doing defensively. They're bringing their third baseman, Bradley Willman, in a good 12, 15 feet there on the grass just to take away the small ball game. Defiance forced them to swing the bats. But Defiance still has plenty of time left.
Yep.
But again, you have to start grinding out some at-bats here. You have to find a way to get to this tornado bullpen.
Allegretti takes a strike on the inside corner. I think he was cheating a bit looking away. Seeing a respectable 333 entering today's game, although he's been a spot starter this season. He'll have to be protecting with 2 strikes. Check swing. Did he go? No, he didn't. Mark Kuhn lays his arms out flat, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that was awfully close. That
Very.
could have been easily called a check swing. Allegretti gets the benefit of the doubt. Count even at 2-2. This is the guy they love on the bases who's got great speed.
2-2 on the way. Check swing again. He went. He cannot lay off that letter high heat. And a strikeout victim, Premier Bank style, to open up the Defiance fifth.
That's the 4th strikeout by Tills on the afternoon. But the most impressive part for Tills continues to be the fact he has not issued a walk here this afternoon. That brings up the 9-hitter Brez Ziffel, who struck out back in the 2nd inning.
Brez has been struggling at the plate. Long swing. Seen the average dip to $160. And right now, just trying to lock in, get somebody aboard. Tills is dealing. This one inside out swing, lazy fly ball to center, and Wilcox barely has to move. 2 down.
And right now you can see the difference in body language from one side of the field to the other as Tiff and Columbian playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of energy right now. Looking to retire the Bulldogs in order here in this 5th inning.
Here's Hutch digging in. 0 for 2 with a pair of ground outs to second. Positive is he has put the ball in play. Low strike, 0-1.
That's a good hold right there. You're trying to work the pitch count. You're trying to find a way to just a manufacture run. That was one of those borderline strikes, just caught the bottom part of the knee.
The 0-1 takes strike 2. I'm not sure what he was looking for there, but wow.
This is what you have to do if you're Isaiah Tills. You've got the lead, pitch with the lead, just attack the zone. Don't fool around here, get into 3-ball counts. Right now, Tills says Hutchinson in the hole, 0-2.
This one, liner up the middle, great piece of 2-strike hitting. That didn't sound like it was particularly barreled up, but he did just enough to muscle it into center field for a 2-out single.
Well, that's a great at-bat by Hutchinson. He fell behind, didn't panic. He just kind of threw his hands at the baseball. And again, didn't hit the cover off it, but he does get on base here with 2 outs. Now Defiance just has to find a way to scratch across to run here. But right now, if you're Tills, continue to force Defiance to beat you with hits and not allow the freebies, not allow the advancements with wild pitches and long counts.
Cohen Stockman digs in from the left side and takes a strike. Well, the Bulldogs have had a base runner in every inning but one. But they've been turned away, Tills and the Tornado defense, as this one misses in the cellar. Scoop's got the unofficial timer out on him now. I'd had him earlier anywhere between a buck 1.35 and 1.7. Is this one a swing and a miss? And you've got him towards the higher end, I should say, of that spectrum right now.
Well, last two pitches, he's been 1.71, 1.68. He does have that high leg kick, but again, when you're down 5 runs, the last thing you want to do if you're Rick Weaver is take yourself out of an inning.
Yep. Although the runner goes here, this one a ground ball up the middle. Gobbled up by the shortstop, Egbert. He goes across the diamond, and again, Bulldogs denied here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs on a hit, no errors, and one left the board. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Got an upset brewing here in Defiance. Tornadoes 5, Bulldogs 1. Back after this on DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Get a good look from behind home plate as we welcome you back to Defiance. Top of the 6th brings up the bottom of the order for visiting Columbian Tiffin. 7, 8, and 9, Wilcox, Westner, and Egbert taking their third cuts of the afternoon against senior starter Brez Ziffel. Ziffel has been the ace for Defiance this season, but he has struggled today as this one fouled away on a 1-0 count, evens things up.
Well, 7, 8, 9 has been 1 for 5 this afternoon for the Tornadoes, but they do have 2 walks and 2 runs scored.
1 ball, 2 strikes after fouling this one away. You know, it's tough to say once you put 5 runs up that the Tornadoes have done just enough, but Scoop, that's really the way it feels. It wasn't like these were explosions. 5 runs on kind of death by 1,000 cuts right now if you're looking at it from Defiance's perspective. As this one, a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Backwards K for a Premier Bank strikeout to open up the 6th.
That's strikeout number 9 for Brez Ziffel. And again, great sequence by Ziffel. He's able to get Wilcox to a negative count. He was able to locate there that 1-2 pitch. So 8 strikeouts now for Brez.
Here's Westner digging in, 0 for 2. He is struck out in both of those at-bats. This one misses low, squirts away from Shaw. Scoop, I'm just looking at how the Tornadoes have produced 5 runs, couple of walks, infield single, wild pitch. That's 1 inning. The inning where they scored 2, 4 straight singles. And again, they don't officially go down in the books as errors, but some mental errors, not covering when you should be. Is this one a hard hit ground ball to third? Off of Allegretti, and he's not going to have a play. It was hard hit, and that's undoubtedly going to go down as an error on the third baseman.
Well, Brent, kind of looking at the summary of this ball game, you know, through 5 innings, Tiffin Columbian went down in order 3 of those 5 innings, but they bunched all their hits in 2 big innings. They've got 3 hits in the third, scored 3 runs. They get 4 hits in the 5th and score 2 runs. Now we'll have a pinch runner after Westner reaches on an error.
Is that number 13? Turn around, young man. Show us your number. It is, or is it 18? I can't quite tell. If it's it is 13.
Columbian, number 13, K.O. Lawrence.
Okay, Wart's going to be your pinch runner. So the error allows a one-out base runner as Egbert set to dig in. Zippel trying to lock in. Out of the stretch. Check swing. Oh, wow. What a stop. Shaw not only from his knees, but laid out to prevent 90 feet.
Yeah, great play. Again, that keeps the double play in order, so big-time play again by Shaw. Now, if you're Brett Zippel, you got to take advantage from the help from your battery mate.
This one fouled up the first base line.
Boy, you might want to retire this guy right here because that turns the lineup over. The first 3 hitters for the Tornadoes have reached base 6 of the 9 times they've been to the plate.
Again, you got a .130 hitter up, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. Again, the middle infield, as expected, pinching. Potential double play depth on a ground ball. Zippel would just soon get a strikeout. This one's going to be a short number, and he's going to have to hustle. Fires to first. Boy, he shows off that cannon for an arm. Zippel was a little slow coming off the bump, but he can make up the difference in a hurry, and he does. 2 away. Lawrence now at second base.
Tremendous play that time by Brett Ziffel because he did not have much time once he got to the baseball. He also had a tough angle to throw, having to deal with the runner Egbert, but he threw a seed there to Ligon. A big second out for this Bulldog defense, trying to keep this game right where it's at 5-0.
On the top of the order up as Little swings through a first pitch feeder. Jackson Little, 1 for 2. Struck out looking to lead off the game. Walked and scored in the 3rd. Singled and scored in the 5th. This one, a shot up the middle. It bounces off the bump and into center field. They're going to go ahead and wave the runner around 3rd. Play at the plate, so there won't be one. Wow. 6-0 Tornadoes.
Yeah, what a clutch 2-out hit by Jackson Little, who's now been on base 3 times. And how about Tiffin Columbian just keep the foot to the accelerator for the 2nd time this afternoon. They've extended a lead and now lead Defiance 6-0 here with 2 outs in the 6th inning.
Brings up Arias. He's 2 for 3 today. Pair of singles and an RBI. Zippel deals, hard hit ground ball through the 5-5 holder. They're going to go ahead and wave Little around 3rd. They will. Rubio comes up throwing a strike as Shaw makes the tag, shows the umpire the ball, and that will do it for the Tornadoes here in the top of the 6th. What a throw from Abel Rubio. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left aboard. Defiance needs to find some offense, and quickly. They're down to their final 6 outs. We'll see what they've got in store as we come back for the bottom of the frame. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
There you take a look at some softball royalty. Let's see, Tegan Zippel on the left. And it looks like the team is back. Congratulations going out to the Defiance softball team as they knock off the number 1 seed, Salina, 7-3 in 8 innings down at Racer Park. They have earned themselves the opportunity to play on Saturday. Coach Parrish and company. It's proof it's not how you start, it's how you finish, Scoop.
Absolutely. You want to be playing your best ball at the right time. And how about Tiffin Columbian? We talked about them winners 3 of their last 4 games. And right now, boy, they've been lights out here, shutting out Defiance here. And right now, Defiance down their last 6 outs. So the Bulldogs want to get something going early here in this 6th inning.
First pitch swinging, Brady Borton pops it up into shallow right field, and I'm not sure if anybody saw it. Borton's going to try and stretch it into another 90, and the throw gets away. Nobody's covering third. Borton is up. Is he going to try and score? They're going to hold him up. Wow. It fell in the Bermuda Triangle. You had 3 players right on it, then the error on the throw with nobody covering, and standing at third to lead off the 6th. We'll see if Brady Borton can jumpstart the Bulldog offense.
Well, that time just a bloop single down the right field line, but Borton putting a little pressure, down by 6, a gutsy move trying to get second. Ends up being a double and an E9 as he ends up on third base. And right now, if you're Tiffin Columbian, that means absolutely nothing. So get the out, exchange the out for the run, and just try to minimize things here in this 6th inning. So right now, if you're Tills, focus on the hitter.
Gomez, swings and misses at a nasty bender. 1-1. Noah 0 for 2 this afternoon. He's grounded out to short. He struck out swinging to end the 3rd.
Yeah, you just don't want to expand the zone when you're up in the count, looking for big-time runs.
1-1. Takes a strike on the inside corner. I'm not sure what he was looking for here. Scoop, you just can't have wasted at-bats. Down 6-0 this deep in the ball game.
Yeah, right now, if you're Gomez, you have to flush it, bounce back, because he swung at an ill-advised pitch, and then he probably left the pitch he wanted.
Yep.
A heater down the middle.
Right now, you got to put the ball in play. They'll surrender a run for an out as this pitch misses. I can't say misses, but it was upstairs above the letters, and he fouls it straight back. That's a pitch that Defiance's hitters haven't been able to lay off today.
Oh, you're right. And we've seen Jamison Wester setting up there behind the dish upstairs many times, and here he is again.
1-2. Liner right at third base, and Borton's going to get doubled off. Oh, my goodness. Unassisted double play. My goodness, and just like that, Defiance's threat snuffed out. Bradley Willman. What a play.
Yeah, great job there by Wilma. And again, this is the cruel game that baseball can be at times. That ball hit on the line there by Gomez, but right at Willman. But down by 6, you're going nowhere in a hurry from third base. You might as well wait till that ball's in left field before you're heading home. And Shaw comes out swinging early here as he swings through a fastball, and he falls behind Tills 0-1.
Cody hit by a pitch in the 2nd. Got picked off, leaning a little too far at first. It's also popped out to first base in foul territory. Takes a, good sinking fastball. Strike 2.
And Tills doing exactly what he needs to do. Force hits to beat you. Do not give up the freebies, and he's been spotless today in that department.
Way upstairs, ball 1.
The only freebie that Tills has issued with that hit batsman to Shaw back in the 2nd inning. But Shaw was quickly erased on a heads-up play by Wester behind the dish.
1-2. Chopper down the third base line. Is that fair? Yes, it is. And it's going to roll a long way as a little late to get over is Arias, and standing up in the 2nd. Now the throw gets away. Nicely backed up, though, by Golden, and a 2-out double by Cody Shaw. Oh, goodness. Well, they're keeping the line moving. They just don't have anything to show for it yet.
Yeah, good swing that time by Shaw, and that ball just inches inside that third base line. He's able to stand up in 2nd, but alert play by Golden, as you said, Brent, to keep Shaw from advancing to third, but how about Defiance? 2 doubles in this inning, and yet nothing to show for it. This game is still 6-0, and now the Bulldogs down to their final 4 outs in this one.
Here's Ligon. He reached on an error in the second, was thrown out trying to score. He's also lined out to second. 2 doubles in this inning, still nothing to show for it. They had 4 base runners back in the second, were turned away. It's the 1-0. Ligon leaned out on that one. Ball 2.
Yeah, great job by Ligon. You don't have to be swinging right now. You got to find a way to get some table setters. You're not going to tie it on one swing.
No.
You got to just keep the line moving. You got a 500 hitter in the on-deck circle, Colt Ward.
Upstairs, ball 3. With the exception of really 1 inning, Scoop, Tills hasn't had to pitch under pressure, much less with multiple base runners.
No, things have gone their way. You know, the double play there, the back pick earlier, they've had a lot of good fortune. They've also have not hurt their cause either. They've had some good defensive plays. Tills is not allowed to walk to this juncture. But right now, if you're Ligon, you don't have to be swinging here at 3-1 either.
3-1, runner goes, fouled straight back. Boy, he got a center cut fastball, and he just came underneath it.
And Shaw was in motion. The fact that third baseman Bradley Willman is way off the base at third. We talked about the high leg kick of Tills. And right now, Tills is just focused on Khalil Ligon here, trying to get out of this inning.
Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. A Premier Bank strikeout to end the Defiance 6th. No runs on 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left aboard. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Columbian tipping 6. Defiance nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need to make your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
At Arthur Law Firm, we understand how overwhelming life can be after being seriously injured in a car accident. With over 50 years of experience, Arthur Law Firm has a track record of getting the results you deserve. When you don't know where to turn, get answers with Arthur. Call us today.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Ohio is in a foster care crisis. Kids with real needs, medical, emotional, behavioral, are waiting for homes. Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care is looking for families ready to make a difference. You've thought about it, now it's time. Contact Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care today.
Top of the 7th. Don't know if that's an omen or not. Gray skies. It's been windy. It's been cloudy. It has been chilly. You'd never know it, though, if you were in the Columbian Tiffin dugout. 6 runs on 8 hits despite 4 errors on the day. Top-seeded Defiance has been shut out so far. No runs on 5 hits. Couple of errors and just some key base-running mistakes. Right now, for Defiance, you know you're going to need at least 6. If you're Brez Ziffel, all you can do here is keep it where it's at, as he will deal to the meat of the order. Tills, Willman, and Galden. Ziffel deals. First pitch, Tills takes. He's had himself an afternoon, 2 for 3 with an RBI.
Well, he's a tough out. You can see he's a solid player in every phase, and that time he swings through. A good-looking pitch from Ziffel. Right now, Tills behind 0-2. Remember, Tiffin Columbian scored 3 of the last 4 innings here. Their offense has been red hot here down the stretch. And there's an 0-2 fastball intensely upstairs to change the eye level.
Yep.
We'll see if he comes back with a bender here on 1-2.
Ziffel sets, deals. Again, he has buried What pitch is that? Because we've seen that at least a half a dozen times today. It's about a 57, 58-footer.
Yeah, that looks like a slider to me. It's got a lot of break right to left on it. Does have some downward movement to it as well.
This one lined into left field. Leadoff single.
Boy, he's such an impressive player. Three consecutive hits now for Tills. And once again, the Tornadoes have something cooking here. Here's a guy with a big 2 RBI single a couple innings ago that gave the Tornadoes some separation.
We're going to have a pinch runner here.
I like that. You got your pitcher. You've got the runs you need. Let him rest the dugout. Keep a sleeve on that golden right arm of his.
This is Dallas Glenn, number 2, coming in to pinch run.
Playing first base for Columbian, number 2, Dallas Glenn.
Well, you got to tip your cap this afternoon so far to Columbian Tiffin. They have done enough. They've kept the pressure on, and they have just kept Defiance on their heels. As a swing and a miss by Willman makes it 0-1. Willman came up with a huge 2 RBI single back in the 5th inning.
Well, that really was huge. It went from a 3-0 game to a 5-0 game. A guy that's hitting below 100 came up big on an 0-2 pitch.
Great pitch.
1-1. This one popped up. Drifting back at short, couple of feet on the grass. Hutchison hauls it in. 1 down. Well, the winner of this contest will advance to next Thursday action all the way over at Paradiso Park in Tiffin, as they will take on the winner of the 5-8 seed matchup, Lexington taking on Mansfield Senior. As unable to pull the trigger, Golden takes strike 1. Boy, and if it is Columbian Tiffin, can you imagine the response that they will get playing basically a home game? Beyond Tiffin University's field, as another nice stop by Cody Shaw.
Yeah, I thought they traveled fairly well here this afternoon in Defiance, but right in their own backyard, and especially if they can hang on here to take out the top-seeded Bulldogs in this sectional final.
Ziffel paints the black on the outside corner, strike 2. Well, looking ahead for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the 7th, it will be the bottom of the order. Ward, Allegretti, and Ziffel. But it's going to take a lot more than 3, as they'll need a minimum of 6 as Glenn goes. Swing and a miss. Shaw didn't quite get a good transfer, and that throw was way off, and that's just a nice job by Hutch to keep it on the infield. It is a Premier Bank strikeout for 2 away. So Glenn now standing at second. Connor Reese 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts looking. And his home plate umpire, Jeff Bauman, okay. Did he take a shot there? He's nodding that he's all right. Coach Weaver coming out to make sure.
Yeah, that time, great jump by Dallas Glenn there off of first base, and Defiance a little tardy to get to the base.
He must have taken a shot. I didn't quite see it, but he's adjusting his glasses. Jeff Baum appears to be okay. It's a physical game. Sometimes I think people forget that. But you can get black and blue, especially when you got the gear on. So 2 down. First pitch swinging, number back to the mound. Ziffel's got it. He will flip. They retire Reese 1-3 on 1 pitch. But as we head to the bottom of the 7th, the season is on the line. Defiance needs at least a half a dozen, or a huge upset is going to be marked in the books. Can they respond? Stick around and find out. We'll have it for you when we come back. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Bottom of the seventh. The top-seeded Bulldogs trailing 7-seeded Tiffin Columbian by a score of 6-0. There's no such thing as a 6-run homer. It's about keeping the line moving. In the bottom of the frame, we'll bring up the bottom of the order. As there you take a look at Isaiah Tills, trying to go the distance. So far, he has been masterful, throwing a 5-hit shutout, but he needs 3 more to advance his squad to the next round of the playoffs. Freshman D.H. Colt Ward will lead it off. Third baseman Drew Allegretti on deck, and pitcher Brez Zippel in the hole. Scoop, your job right now as any of the top first 3 or 4 hitters, just find a way aboard.
That's all you have to do right now is just find a way to get on base, try to put a little pressure on Tiffin Columbian, who's really faced very little adversity, and the freshman comes out swinging first pitch, and he rolls one over in foul territory near that first base dugout. And Tilsa once again continues to pound the zone early and often. He gets a first pitch strike to Ward.
Fastball off the mark, 1-1. Ward 0 for 2. He reached on a fielder's choice back in the second. He grounded out the second in the fourth. He was arguably the hottest Defiance hitter entering today's contest.
Right now, I'm sorry, I unofficially have Tills for about 96 pitches on that one right there, so he's still good as far as pitches to go unless he gets into all kinds of trouble here in the 7th inning. He's got enough in his tank to finish this thing out.
Bryan and Stratton is getting a good one as way out in front of this one. Ward almost pulled that ball into the first base dugout. 2-2.
Well, this is arguably Defiance's best hitter, so they want to try to get things ignited here early in this inning before any outs are had.
Tills deals. Called third strike on the outside corner. Wow, Ward can't believe it as he's mumbling and shaking his head. A backwards K is a Premier Bank strikeout. And Defiance down to their final 2 outs.
Tremendous sequence by Tills once again, who's not getting into 3-ball counts. There's 6 strikeouts now in the afternoon for Tills. Is not allowed a walk.
This one misses below the knees. Allegretti reached on an error back in the second, struck out swinging in the 5th. Fouled straight back. Again, we're into the 7th here, but if you are, I don't care if you're a righty or a lefty, where are you picking up Tills? He's got an over-the-top delivery. He's not particularly tall, but he does throw downhill, as this one misses below the knees.
And he also does a great job of hiding the baseball until he gets right at 12 o'clock. That's the first time you're seeing it. And then he's got that downward trajectory. He's one of those few guys that's truly over the top.
Yep, swing and a miss, and he's stymied Defiance's hitters this afternoon. 2 balls, 2 strikes right now to Allegretti. Zippel on deck. And now watching the body language, especially by the infield for Columbian Tiffin. This one a chopper to third, snared by Willman across the diamond. Boy, he threw a strike.
Yes, he did. No doubt about it. We've had some throws that have tested Connor Reese at first base, but that one
Not
was
that
right
one.
in this strike zone. Letter high, right down the middle.
Sam Gershutz.
Sam Gershutz is going to pinch hit for Brez Zippel. Zippel, who has struggled at the plate, not just today, but all season long, hitting a .160. Gershutz digs in and takes ball one. Gershutz hitting .375. Very small sample size and just 8 at-bats, but he's been productive as he's looking at a 1-0 count. Pops this one up. Foul territory. Reese over. It's playable. Give him the upset. Give him the win. Biggest celebration of the season so far as they come into the top seed's house and tip in Columbian. The 7th seed pulls the upset 6-0.
Well, how about the Tornadoes? They really earned it here this afternoon. We mentioned beforehand, Brent, this is one of those few teams that will not be intimidated by Defiance, and certainly they were not. They come into Defiance's own house, and not only do they pull the upset, they do it in impressive fashion as they were able to score 6 big runs. They shut out Defiance. They put up 10 hits. They overcame a few errors on defense, but the pitching by Isaiah Tills more than enough as the Tornadoes were advanced to next week's district tournament right in their own backyard in Tiffin.
Tiffin Columbian begins the celebration in earnest down the third base line, and nothing but stunned silence for the Bulldogs as they head to their respective dugout. I would venture to say, Scoop, nobody with the exception of the Navy and Gold in the third base line saw this one coming here this afternoon, but tip your cap, they won this ball game.
They did. They really did. They got it done in every area. They were able to rack out 10 hits against Defiance ace Brez Zippel. They made some outstanding defensive plays. Their base running was very aggressive. They came up with the big 2-out hits, the 0-2 hits when they needed. And again, a big team win here for Coach Nick Weber. This one has to feel awfully good as they get their 7th win all time against Defiance. And the second time in a row that the Tornadoes have shut out Defiance in tournament play. Remember the last one 3 years ago in the regional, the Tornadoes took out Defiance 1-0. This time they do it 6-0 right here in Defiance. Amazing.
We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back with your Mark Moats Ford game recap and stats summary and the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. 6-0. The 7th seed comes into the top seed's house and pulls off the upset as Tiffin Columbian will advance as they defeat Defiance. Quick break. Back with more. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Back at Defiance, and you see the celebration happening. Not quite a dog pile at home plate, but I don't think the tires on Tiffin Columbian's bus are actually going to touch the pavement on the drive home as the number 7 seed comes in to top-seeded Defiance's house, and they just plain win today. 6 runs on 9 hits, 4 errors for the Tornadoes. No runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for the Bulldogs. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as we've got the Mark Moats Ford game recap and stat summary. It's all part of the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center post-game show. Coach Weaver is up in the press box, and we anticipate being joined by him in a couple of minutes here. But goodness, where do we start? Let's start with where credit is due. Isaiah Tills, the senior starter for the Tornadoes, was masterful here this afternoon, Scoop. He goes the distance, 7 innings, allows just 5 hits, not a single run, didn't walk anybody. He did hit 1 and struck out 6. And to be honest, with maybe one exception, 1 inning, was just never under pressure this afternoon.
No, he was masterful. And, you know, before people get too worked up, I mean, talk about what a major upset. With Tills on the mound, it's not as big as an upset you think. Certainly, you got to like Defiance chances being 21-1 in a year, but Tills is the guy who's been proven time and time again. We talked about his numbers coming in. Opponents hitting just 133 off Tills this season, so you knew that hits are going to be a premium. He's given up 3 hits per 7 innings on the year, so if you're Defiance, we thought they'd have to find a way to manufacture a run, and Tills just denied him that. They did not walk a batter the entire game. He only gave up 1 freebie. That was the hit batsman to Cody Shaw, but then they quickly erased that with a heads-up play by the catcher, Jamison Wesner. And they really never looked back after putting up 3 big runs in that 3rd inning.
Well, and again, it was one thing to get 3 runs in that frame, but they tacked on. They had 2 of their 3 innings where they scored were crooked numbers. And to their credit, it was a situation where they never looked like they panicked, even though they got 1 inning in particular, I'm guessing 2, where you had, again, 2 doubles, but again, an atom ball leads to an unassisted double play. They have 4 runners on base in the 2nd and still turned away. Scoop, we've talked about this before. Baseball is a funny game sometimes, but today I can't say all the breaks went to Tiffin Columbian's way because they made several of their breaks as well. But on any given day, it just goes to show you, and nobody should be surprised here, this is a good ball club despite their 7th seed that came in here and won this afternoon.
Well, you're right. You know, a lot of things just did not go Defiance's way. Another thing I even think about happened in that 5th inning, Defiance, still trying to find a way back in it. They get a runner on first base with 2 outs in Hutchinson. And then Hutchinson got a great jump. He was going to get second on the stolen base. A good-looking swing by Stockman up the middle, normally a base hit, but since the shortstop was covering second, ends up being right at him. He's able to retire Stockman at first base. That was the kind of day Defiance had, but again, that's not to take away anything from Tiffin Columbian because they really, as you mentioned, they earned this thing. It was not a fluke. They got great pitching. They had some stellar defensive plays. They also got some timely hits. We saw maybe the body language change a little bit on that big 0-2 hit by Willman, hitting only 0.77 on the season. That brought home 2 runs. I think the body language changed a little bit after that, but you can kind of do the math. You're seeing a guy gives up 3 hits a game. You're down 5 runs. You're in late innings. But again, what a season for Defiance. Unfortunately, it comes the tournament run comes to an end here in the sectional final.
2 stretches for both teams' rosters spelled the difference here today. The top of the order, the top third for the Tornadoes, Little 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Arias 3 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. And Tills 3 for 4 with an RBI. On the flip side, from the 6-hole down for Defiance, 0 for 12 this afternoon. And we were sitting here talking about it Monday on the post game against Fairview. It was Murderer's Row. That portion of the lineup did the bulk of the damage in scoring 9 runs. Today, nobody from the 5-hole down even reached base.
Yeah, and again, I think that's a credit to Tills because we've talked about momentum as good as your next day starter, and that's how good Tills was today. Defiance just unable to muster anything. They didn't have a lot of opportunities to even play small ball because, again, the freebies were limited. Just that one-hit batsman by Tills was the only blemish really on his side. He attacked the zone. He only got into a couple 3-ball counts all afternoon. When you do that, good things typically happen. It certainly fell Tornado's way this afternoon.
And a quick cursory check in my scorebook. I do stand corrected. 1 batter reached base. Drew Allegretti got on via the error on the throw by the third baseman Bradley Willman back in the second. But other than that, just they couldn't get the job done here today. And you tip your cap to Tills as Coach Weaver showing a ton of class coming up to the press box to join us here. And we will give him a headset. There you go. Sounds like he's got it on here. Coach, again, just stunned. But at the same time, and I know how classy you were, and I saw the handshake line, you tipped your cap to the opponent today. Tills was just strong on the bump. And you had your opportunities, but sometimes the ball just goes where it shouldn't. Atom balls, you send a runner on a steal, a base hit that normally gets through, but the shortstop coming over to cover. All the things that don't necessarily go down in the scorebook, but that's baseball sometimes.
That's baseball all the time, right? Yeah, it's a crazy game. I mean, I think why we love the game is why we hate the game sometimes. But that's life, that's sports, and sun will come up tomorrow.
Yeah, and Coach, you guys do it better than anybody as far as you understand the importance of the little things and how those really can make plays in baseball games. And credit to Columbian. They had the back pick. They came up with a double play. They had a couple tough throws at first base, and Connor Reese there made a couple fantastic plays to get you out. They just never gave your offense to get jump-started with the freebies.
No, and that was the one thing coming in with their pitcher is we were told he'll walk some guys, and he did not today. And if you don't walk guys and you make plays, you got a good chance to win. And I thought, early on we had some chances, and then he settled in and he became pretty darn good.
Well, you're right, and that's how baseball works.
It is, right?
If you cash in on some of those early opportunities, it's probably a completely different game. But the fact that he really was able to settle in once he got through that, that early disruption there, where you guys had a couple early runners and so forth. They had a couple hits in an inning and just couldn't score. He seemed to get stronger.
He did.
And opponents hitting just 133 off Tills all season, so you knew hits were going to be a premium. But you just never got a chance to really do much small ball and so forth.
No, and that's a credit to him because we couldn't get our leadoff guy on. So when you can't get your leadoff guy on, you can't bunt, you can't do some things, and then when you get down 3 and then 5, then it kind of slows your running game down. So they kind of did what we do, what we like to do is put the pressure on the other teams. They did that to us today, and obviously they were the better team today, and that's how it rolls.
It's never easy to give that last game of the season speech, but is there any way, hopefully, in a couple of weeks, in a couple of months, this group can look back, especially with 13 seniors, and look back with satisfaction on what they did this season?
I hope so, because those seniors are tremendous kids. And I said, the people in the community, they see them as baseball players and what great baseball players they are, but they're really better kids. Like, to hang out with them in the locker room at practice every day, like all 13 of them are tremendous kids.
Yeah, Coach, I really give you credit for the words you said because you take me back to my high school days. We lost a tough regional final by a run in a game we thought we probably should have won.
But I remember the coach saying, "Hey, the sun's going to come up tomorrow." At the time, I wasn't convinced,
Right.
but he was right. He was
It
right,
does.
and we left it all out there. We went in there fully loaded, and it's baseball though. Sometimes the ball goes your way, sometimes it does.
It is.
But give your kids a lot of credit. You guys have had an unbelievable season
Thank
once
you.
again. I think the 25th out of 26 years, you guys have had 20-plus wins. That's something that you guys almost take for granted. But in this game of baseball, that's a tough thing to do year in, year out.
It is. It's not easy. And we realize that we always have a target on our back. I mean, every team we play, they have us highlighted. We see most teams best, and our kids attack that with pride. They like that, and it comes with the territory of having a program like we've had here over the last 25, 30 years. And I hope these seniors look back someday and realize that they put together a really good senior season.
They should.
Well, and you've talked about it before, and I'll just mention it specifically because it's one thing to have a class, maybe a couple of classes, and you ride those athletes for success for 2, maybe 3 seasons, and then it's not uncommon to see programs or teams specifically just kind of disappear, disintegrate. There's the difference between a team and a program, and Defiance has a program. Can you just talk about building from moving forward from here?
And we'll give credit to our youth. I mean, from the 8U, the coach pitch, up to Little League, they keep everyone together. Those coaches down there do a tremendous job. They teach what we do up here. So kids, when they come in as freshmen, know what to expect in the program. And without that youth program, I don't think our varsity program is as good as it has been.
A tough one here today, Coach, but at the same time, we appreciate everything you've done for us, allowing us and specifically myself access to the program on the field and off. Class act.
No, we appreciate it. We appreciate everything you guys do.
Great job.
Thank you, guys.
Very much.
Appreciate it.
Coach Weaver coming up and joining us here for the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. What we're going to do is take one final time out. We'll put a wrap on it when we come back. You're watching DCTV Sports.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Ohio is in a foster care crisis. Kids with real needs, medical, emotional, behavioral, are waiting for homes. Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care is looking for families ready to make a difference. You've thought about it, now it's time. Contact Cornerstone Treatment Foster Care today.
Being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need to make your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Back to finish up the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. Keep your eyes healthy with a long life of clear vision. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center, your family's vision source. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com. 6 runs on 9 hits, despite 4 errors for Tiffin Columbian. No runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for top-seeded Defiance. I don't want to say throw the numbers or the records out. That sounds postseason cliche-ish, Scoop. But today, you got to tip your cap to the 7th seed as the Tornadoes, behind a strong pitching performance, a complete game shutout by Isaiah Tills, and they advance as Defiance. And Coach Weaver, he made a great point. It's not going to happen tonight. There'll be a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda, and obviously just a lot of burning fire, deep pits and stomachs as these guys go to bed. But hopefully tomorrow, couple weeks, couple months, this senior class of 13 will be able to look back, see a 21-win season, and feel good about the success they had this year.
Yeah, this was going to sting, no question about it, but these guys have no reason to be hanging their heads because they have provided a lot of great baseball out here for the community of Defiance. They've represented their school so well throughout the years. And as Coach Weaver said, these guys always have a target in their back, but I love how they've embraced that. We talked about a program, but let's give Columbian some credit as well because that's a program as well. We mentioned how this is one of the few teams in Ohio that will not be intimidated by Defiance. You know, they've had some great baseball there. And they're very similar to what maybe Defiance will be a year from now. The fact they got hit hard last year. They lost some key players, but yet they found a way to kind of put the pieces together. They've overcome some adversity, and here they are with a huge win at Defiance as they advance to the district tournament next week in Tiffin.
I'll be right across town for them in Paradiso Park. And as it stands, that will do it, at least officially, for Defiance. I know they've got Bath still on the schedule as well as Findlay, but at the same time, they are finished up as far as the postseason is concerned. That's going to do it for our coverage of Defiance baseball so far this season. Do want to remind you, Defiance softball knocked off Salina. They knocked off the top seed on the road at Racer Park in 8 innings, so they will advance to the next round on Saturday. A weather-delayed game that was supposed to be played last night will be played tomorrow night at Napoleon as top-seeded Ayersville, staying with softball here, will be taking on Lipsick. We will have that broadcast for you with a 4 o'clock first pitch. So our broadcasts are not quite done yet, but we're putting a wrap on this one here this afternoon. For our entire crew, big thank you going out to our sponsors and you, the fan, for tuning in. For Scoop Miller, I'm Brent Balbinot. Final score, 6-0. Tiffin Columbian knocks off top-seeded Defiance. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.